All right, welcome to How Can She?
Snap.
This is a Marvel Snap podcast dedicated to the filthiest of casuals. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snap Bros, here with my brother from the same mother, Mr.
No big deal, we're here.
We're here. We got a very, very special guest today. Woo. We have a prolific Marvel Snap content creator here. He is the co-host of the official podcast for Marvel Snap Zone, the Snap Judgment Podcast. I'm sure the three people that listen to this podcast know about that one. I sure hope they do. He is an amazing YouTube content creator with daily, sometimes twice daily, episodes all the time, with one of the most comprehensive, I would say, YouTube content about Marvel Snap out there. You know, different decks every day, bundles, advice, amazing. Gives away a lot of stuff to the community. Amazing community member. I think at least 15 season passes, right? Up now, every single month. Yeah. We have none other than Aaron Pulse GLAZER. Thank you so much for joining us today, and let the viewers know where they can find you.
Hey, it's an absolute pleasure. My favorite place to find me is Snap Judgements Pod on YouTube. Daily videos. I make them as good as I possibly can. There is no gameplay. Don't ask.
Yeah, that's awesome. This episode, we're obviously going to talk about, the meta. Selene just came out. Infinity Conquest just started. We'll talk about our grinds there. And then we're going to go over, some of our top 5 favorite cards that we're playing right now and possibly all time. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about, this year in recap. Let's get it. All right. Mr. No Big Deal and GLAZER, how are you guys today?
And GLAZER, you go first, buddy.
I'm doing great. Nice, calm day. My kid is with my mother, so I've just got a day to relax. I'm not making any Snap content for the first day this week, so it's a real nice day. Oh, wait, I'm making Snap content right now. Never mind.
With us.
Okay.
Well, that's all right. That's awesome. How you feeling this week about Selene? Was she everything you hoped and dreamed?
She's bad. She's like not a good card.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about her.
I was way more excited for her before the OTA. Like, I figured her with a 2-power Black Widow would have been really, really nice and so disruptive. I thought there'd be maybe like a new bounce, disrupt kind of archetype. But with the changes, she seems to just fit in only with some junk and an Nihilus, and that's about it.
Yeah, Ravonna Goblin, some stuff like this, right? You send over the -6 or, the -11 for a discounted price. I haven't been able to make it work, so I'm happy that's your take, GLAZER, because, I've been struggling, man. I'm trying to make this junk card work. I felt really good about it before the OTAs, too. The send the Havoc over on turn 3 with a ramp. It felt really nice. Selene slot right into there, but that's all dead, and they killed Viper, they killed Widow, and it's just a struggle. The junk is in a rough spot right now, it feels like.
So, they made it so she's only really good. She's okay with goblins, right? She's a fine card with goblins, but she's only really good if you have a Nihilus. And, you want to play her early, and if you didn't draw a Nihilus in your first 4 cards, you're like, well, I sure as shit hope I draw a Nihilus. Otherwise, I just played -1 power on my side of the board, and they never played a -3, so all I did was play my own Widow's Bite.
Mm-hmm.
And pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. She really is only good with the Nihilus. I can't really, I'm not playing her in a destroy deck with Carnage. Destroying her is not great. You have to kind of send her over, and I feel like sending her over, if you're playing a 3/4 Viper and sending a -1 over with Viper, it kind of feels bad, Yeah,
that ain't it. You gotta send a -6 Hood or something, or it's rough, and it's to your point, Annihilus is cosplaying as MODOK in that deck, right? Because that you either get it on by 5, you see the Annihilus, or you might have to retreat, because it's just miserable if you don't get it.
They took out our basically guaranteed way to see a card by turn 5, right? They removed that too. I think so. Here's what I want to run by you guys. Is this I don't think this is too strong, but you let me know what you think. Is it too strong if it only hits the opponent?
I don't know. I feel like on the decks, at least by her deck design, it feels like you want to hit your own. It could be Hood, Goblin, old Black Widow. Hopefully, maybe they revert Widow to maybe make her a 2/2. It gives a 0. I think you want her to hit your own. So I don't think it would do anything. I don't think she would be that strong personally. But that's just a total, obviously you're asking us on the spot. But that's what I think that's still not a great card personally.
Yeah, I think it'd be better maybe because then you have more deck building kind of design, and she's not as bad if you don't pull the Annihilus. I don't think that makes her broken at all, honestly. I think that would make her better, and it would really mess people up. But yeah.
So like Iceman, you're saying she'd be like a good like kind of Iceman type of card.
Yeah,
if
exactly like Iceman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like right now, I want to run like Darkhawk and decks with her, right? But like I can't, because if I don't see a goblin, now I just have a -3 Darkhawk, and it's like, ooh, enjoy my end game 6-power Darkhawk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 5-power Darkhawk. Oh yeah, let's go. Like that's terrible, right? Like so I can't run those two cards together. And like Iron Man and all these other like decent cards. It's just if she's not hitting my own cards, I can at least use her without like it being one specific deck where I have to make it work this way.
Yeah, she's so niche. It's like she only really works right now in that one deck, and it has to have an Annihilus. Like you can't have any other cards, like unless you somehow play a bounce deck with her and bounce her back into your hand. But it's like that's not even a good deck. It's horrible.
So let's say something nice about her. She's some of the best base art in the game.
Oh, I think so for sure. Yeah.
That purple border too looks phenomenal. Yeah.
I mean, she is fun to play. Like I played a little bit with her. I mean, she's fun. I was having a good time, but she's just not great. But yeah, amazing base art. That new variant's that came out. It's a bit, she's a bit voluptuous in that one.
I got the spotlight because I have a variant for everything but 3 cards, and I couldn't like bring myself to play the 1200 gold one, so I opened 1 million extra spotlights to get her spotlight one because I was like, I feel like a creep playing the 1200 gold one. I'm not doing that.
It's a game for kids. We can't do that. We
gotta right. Like I'm playing. I know. I'm playing a 9-year-old on ladder, and just like like the number 5 ranked player in the world is 14. What are we doing?
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, I can't. Yeah,
not a feel good moment.
No, I actually, I didn't have the Black Knight, so I rolled for him this week, and I've been having a ton of fun with that card. I love that card, man. He's the only one that I rolled extra spotlights for his variant.
Good call.
His variant
one of the best variants in the
awesome,
game.
Yeah,
it's I had to. It was like the first time I did. I'm like, you know what? I don't even care. It's like it's insane.
I've got like on purpose, like 4 spotlights, and Black Knight is one, and Selene is one, I guess, which I regret, but like I couldn't bring myself to play the other one, so I had to.
It's in there,
Yeah,
dust it off.
I was hoping I was going to get the Selene variant, but I ended up getting him on the second one. So I mean, I pulled in my second round of spotlights. I pulled Darkhawk, which ended up 1,000 tokens, and then him. And I was like, I can't keep going.
I got 2 shitty regular variants on my way to the Selene variant. I got like the Ghost Rider, and then I don't know, something else just regular. The Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. And it's just like, oh, okay. I guess that's what I have now. That's definitely worth a spotlight cash.
Yeah, I feel like, if people are rolling for like the second round of spotlight caches, I feel like they should give people like the rewards, like the variants first instead of like random the mystery variants, because those are so bad. Like you don't want to waste keys on those.
So I think, okay, here's what I honestly think, just based on listening to them whenever they open their mouth about this. I think they think that they've made card acquisition easy and cheap. And like we can agree or disagree. I agree to some extent, but like I think that it is their belief that they've made card acquisition really hard to monetize for them. So anything that makes any of that shit easier, they're just like, hey, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse, but hey, F you.
That's fine,
right?
curse,
like,
yeah, I don't care.
Okay, yeah. So, but like they're just like, all right, well, you want this to be easy. You think 1,000 tokens isn't enough. You want duplicate protection. Well, go fuck yourself. We already made this so easy for you. Like, it's free. Like, what do you want? Like, spend $10 a month on our game that we pour our blood, sweat, and tears into. Shut up. And, like, that's not a great attitude to have towards your consumers, but I think that's where we are.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for $10 a month, you get quite a bit. But, I mean, this is me talking as, like, someone who has almost all the cards. I feel like if you were starting right now, you have to spend a shit ton of money. Like, you just have to. And it's so hard to catch up. Like, for being almost collection complete, it's not, like, it's not horrible, I could say. But, like, you have to grind for months and months and months. and it's not a great experience, or spend a bunch of money. That's how I feel, honestly.
Yeah, and it's gonna get more expensive next year too, right? Because we got the extra roles now. We used to have a season pass for free, or not for free, for $10, but now it's like Kyera's in the season pass season, so you buy 10 and you got a roll, right?
So
every month,
maybe. So by the time people listen to this, I guess we'll probably know. God, they have to release that video eventually, right? But like that, we're still like they haven't announced the Planet Hulk season anywhere. That's just
they're spending time with their families. You know, it's okay.
No, okay, but like I don't know about if you know this, but you could schedule posts in advance. But like so like there's like I'd like to spend time with my family too, guys. Can I have some notifications so that I don't have to be like, is it up so I can run my content? Because all right, whatever. Neither here nor there. But okay. So all we have are data mines right now for Kyera coming out with those. We thought that Blob was going to come out in the first cache, and then he was moved to the second, and Firestar was moved.
Right.
Like, is it possible that happens? I mean, the only past evidence we have is that that's exactly what happens, right? One of those cards doesn't come out, and instead, it's 4 cards, and then we'd still do the skip week. Are they really going to drop us a no skip week without any explanation or notice? It's possible. I think that's generally bad business practice, but like that is still just data mines, and as recent events have shown us, data mines don't
mean a whole lot.
They're real subject to change. So like I look, I'm a whale and I create content and I'm selfish, so I totally hope it's if next week Kyera and Scar both come out, like I get to make so many videos that people are gonna watch. Like I'm all for this. I've got new shit to try. Like I am so about that, but like my own selfishness doesn't mean it's good for everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
I think in general, though, like, you know, 2 cards coming out instead of 1 is pretty hype for any card game, right? Like 2 cards coming out, like I think that's just generally a good thing, right?
It depends where you are, right? Like if you're early Series 3 and you feel like you're drowning, like my big
and then
thing,
you're 2 more cards to
all
drown
the time.
Harder,
and like you're just like you're opening like the new Viper, and then you're opening Adam Warlock in Series 3, and you're like, can I just fucking have Sarah? Can I just fucking open like one reasonable card? And you're opening all these bad cards, and now like they're releasing double cards 1 week, and you're falling like what feels like further behind on what you used to be able to catch up on. Like I would not feel good.
Well, I think you bring out a really good point, and I mean we don't talk about this that much, but I do think maybe like one of the main user problems with this game, and I've seen it personally with my own friends, is the Series 3. You know, people like Series 1 and 2 are really fun. Like you're acquiring cards, you're learning the game. Like it's an awesome game. Obviously the game design's phenomenal. That's why we're all here. And then you get into Series 3 and it's just this massive ocean of never ending. Like you're never going to get to the light at the end of the tunnel. I think in every other card game that you could ever play, you get to pick the cards that you acquire. I just think like this once a month thing where they give you a random card, like, and it switches every 8 hours. I think they should just let you pick. Or some way where once a week you could pick a Series 3 card for 1,000 tokens, something like this, like where you could, like you said, pick the Sarah, pick the Dr. Doom if you want it, Arrow, whatever you want. And I mean, the fact that it's just a random card out of like a pool of 120 Series 3 cards, like I don't even know how many there are. I'm throwing that number out of nowhere.
I believe it's about to be 110 as of the next set of series drops. 106, something like that. But like it's my pet topic that Series 3 is a disaster that they need to fix. I can promise you I have literally messaged everyone at Second End to be like, can someone please fix Series 3? Like,
it's where the game goes to die, right? Like people who stop playing, it's got to be at Series 3, because once you get past it, it's a pretty great game actually. Like we get to where we're all at now. Like this is fun. Like we're hyped for these 2 cards coming up right in January potentially.
Because I only have 2 cards to get, right? Like it's just like whoo.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's they need to fix it. I don't know what they do. Like they don't even let you my co-host Roy on the other podcast always goes, they don't let you buy your way through the problem.
Yeah.
If I decide I want death, right? I've got every card. I use my spotlights and I want death. There is literally no way for me to buy death. I can't even like credit card my way through the problem without like thousands of dollars. Like it's insane. Like you can't build this. I mean, I guess they can because they sure as shit did. But like this system where they're just like, hey, here's all these new cards. You betcha you want them, and like you can play and get them all for free. But then they're just like, And you can give money and you can get them a little faster, but just not the ones you want. It's crazy. Just, if I'm going to give you money, give me the cards I want.
Yeah.
Like, please take my money.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's wild. It's wild. Yeah, like the season 3 or the series 3 is the main thing, right? And then it's just going to get worse with series drops because then there's going to be more and more, and series 3 is going to be bloated, and the new players are just going to get worse and worse, right? It's just going to be more of a grind. Yeah, they really need a way to like let people choose which card they want, whether it be once a week, like No Big Deal said, once a month, whatever it is.
Maybe
let
2K
people
tokens,
choose,
right? Maybe, hey, 2K tokens, like GLAZER saying, you could whale your way through it. And if you're in Series 3, you pull up a menu. If you want to spend 2,000 tokens on any Series 3 card you want, you can literally just do that,
I mean, did you guys play when you can spend 1,000 tokens to buy a Series 3?
Yeah, it was great.
Because that was amazing, right? Like, that was like, that's the majority of the player base, because that's the global launch player base. And like, everyone says, like, it wasn't so bad. It's like, yeah, because I bought like every good card I wanted.
Yeah. When Arrow came up, you just grabbed her, right? Like, and then you just win games, and it felt great, So. And
we were getting tokens like candy back then too. So it was like 1,000 was like nothing because you can get that in like less than a week. It's easy. You're just like yep. And you just like, and then they introduced like the random, didn't they?
It's currently random. Now it's 1,000 tokens for a random Series 3. Which like if I was getting tokens 100 at a time, and I opened like, I'm just gonna keep using
Human
Warlock.
Torch.
Let's pick on Warlock. Like, I love Torch, but if I opened Human Torch and I spent 1,000 tokens and I got 100 at a time, and it took me like a month to save 1,000, I'd throw my phone through the wall.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and people message me all the time to be like, hey, do I just use my tokens on random Series 3s? And I'm like, please don't do that. Like, just please don't. Like, I don't care what you do, not unless you're like the uberest whale, right? And you're just gonna like buy every token bundle. Like, please do not do that. It is bad. You're better off just getting more credits.
Seriously. Yeah. It's crazy. So, man, to bring it back, like, for people like us, you're absolutely right. Like, I would be pumped if there was 2 cards released next week because I'm buying the season pass and I'll roll spot. I have a bunch of spotlights saved. Like, I'll roll for a Kyra because that card looks insane and that would just be fun, But yeah, for people who don't spend that much or don't want to spend $300 a month on this game, it's like, dude, it's tough. It's tough out there, and it's tough to have 2 cards right in 1 week. That 1 week break is good for people to kind of replenish their spotlights. So.
Yeah, let people build their Patriot deck, like they're missing Ultron, like let them go get Ultron, and then they have a Patriot deck, like
Ultron was one of my last like
at least they have something they could play, that cohesive deck,
I got Patriot and Iron Man right away. Sorry, nice. Patriot and Mystique right away, and then Ultron was one of my like last 15. It wouldn't come up. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Sarah was one of my last ones. I remember that.
Peaceful Sea's last 2 cards were Arrow and Leader.
Oh God. Old Arrow was great. I would love Old Arrow to come back.
No, you wouldn't. You think you would, and then no, you wouldn't.
Yeah, it's Goliath. It's just Goliath, right? Like, it's like maybe better than Goliath, honestly.
I think it's better than Goliath because it's probably right. Although, like, it's worse at winning one lane, but it's better at winning the game, and I'd usually rather win the game.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that was fun. Have you been doing any Infinity Conquest?
I'm sitting on 4 tickets that I should probably use by Monday. Nope. So a thing that doing daily videos has done to my life, because like every video is a show, is that like I play the shit out of Silver Conquest. Like I get like 1 million Silver Conquest tickets and like I grind the shit out of it. I play surprisingly little ladder once I hit Infinite in like 3 days, and then I like my gold tickets I just try and speed through. But I play like 10 million matches of Silver, just because like that's how I think it's the best place to test decks. And like I don't know, like, this is my fault, right? But I like never leave a gold in the middle of a gold or an infinite in the middle of an infinity, I guess. And like if I play one game, I'm playing until I lose. So like if I don't have that like 3 hours to spare, then I can't play a Infinity Conquest. So I just burn those tickets.
That's kind of like me. I usually, because I usually don't have too much time if I'm like, because usually I work a lot and then I'm hanging out with my wife and dogs and stuff, and then or we're always doing something. So like the Infinity Conquests are like, I like to sit down and just do them. And so what ends up happening is I end up just like YOLO doing a bunch of like Mr. Negative or Gila on like the last
just
day.
Silly,
just
silly
like,
shit to try to do a high roll. Let's go.
Exactly. And I just snap on everything, and I'm just like, I don't even care if I lose it. It is what it is. And then it worked out one time.
You can't take it with you next season.
Yes, exactly.
So I won the first season, or I won 2 the first season. I won 2 the first season just to prove I could, and then in whatever, like the third, I didn't even play the second season. Then the third season I won 2. And I was like, okay, so I can do this if I want to. Now I don't need to. Like, it's not like you get something exclusive for it. And I was just like, I don't care about my stupid borders at all. Have a great day. And I just moved on.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted that Kirby Nimrod border, and that was it. I was happy with that. I cheated with Loki when it was broken a few seasons ago. I got the border, and then that was that.
Yeah.
So
I try to get 1 a season. I don't love ladder too much because the hot locations just tilt me beyond belief. I can't do it. Like I'm just over it at this point. I just refuse to play. I just want to play the deck I want to play. Like these hot locations come up. It's like, oh, all right, here we go. So I try to get 1 infinite border per season. I think I missed it once, but I still haven't got it this season. And speaking of Black Knight on the screen, I've already had 1 failed attempt with the Black Knight, the Desmond Black Knight deck this season. So
I've covered that.
I think I got to round 3 or 4 and then failed on that one. But
so you covered Desmond's?
I covered Desmond's today. I also have for Sunday. I don't know when this goes live, but for Sunday, we've got what's his name, Zuns, the 14-year-old.
Oh yeah,
the 14-year-old kid who's ranked 5. He hit rank 5 with the Black Knight, so I'm covering that one. And then Amano, the guy who lost to Lambie in the finals of Greater Clash, where he
nice.
the Black Knight. So I've got so many I love Black Knight. So we're going to talk about Black Knight a lot because you want to talk about the 5 most fun cards in the game, and Black Knight is on that list.
Oh, he's on my list too. Yeah, because
let's talk about it now. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right, we can talk about it now.
Yeah.
This list, or you want to talk about the 5 cards?
Maybe start with this list, and we talk about it first, and then Glazer could talk about what he likes to play in Black Knight, maybe? Do you want to read it out, kid?
Yeah, I'll read out this list. So this is Desmond's Black Knight list. It's Black Knight, Blade, Zabu, Armor, Lady Sif, Dracula, Ghost Rider, Leech for Tech, Red Skull, Magneto, Giganto, and Infinite.
I like this list a lot because it felt really strong. I might even misplayed on the games I lost. Like I don't know, I'm filthy casual. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I do have an upcoming show match against Ninja, so I got to maybe sharpen my skills a little bit. I had Twitter for 1 week, and the guy's already challenging me to Conquest. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. This is how you guys do it on Twitter. I don't know, but there's a lot of hostility out there. But anyway, so. This list feels really good because Black Knight, you could put out like 20 20 20 type of stat lines across the board, and so if you run into this kind of Tribunal, Sarah, Iron Man BS, then they're just gonna overwhelm you, right? Or just some crazy high roll stuff, but Leech just covers you for all that stuff. Professor X in the Blob, Leech hits the Blob, so any deck that's gonna go over top your pretty impressive stat lines that you could put out with this deck. Like you could play Ghost Rider Dracula on 6 with Zabu, right? It's just a ton of power. The Leech just kind of covers all your bad matchups, and then in you're playing like mid-range deck, you could just put out more power than they can. So you don't even need to play the Leech at that point. You can just play like a Dracula on 5 or something. So I love this list. I think it plays like really nice. The armor protects your big stuff, so you could play Ghost Rider early on there, and I think it's really well done, and hopefully maybe I'll try again on Infinite. Maybe we can get the board for the season.
Yeah, so, I found. Oh, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
I found in this list too, like because I've won an Infinity ticket with this and a Gold Conquest, and I won a few Gold tickets with this list, just trying to figure out the list and how to play it and stuff. And I found a lot of times too, like 1, it's a ton of fun, and 2, you don't even need the Black Knight a lot of times to win games. Like you can win without drawing the Black Knight and high rolling. It's just like almost like a high roll card, which makes it more fun. And then the Ebony Blade can't be destroyed, which is insanity. So like if you have the Ebony Blade and Ghost Rider, you could play that on turn 4. And if you discard Red Skull, Magneto, Giganto, Infinite, that's like a 24 or 27 to like a 43-point play on the last turn, and it's insane. And especially if you leech them, and leeching on turn 5 doesn't even feel bad. No, because you're like, I'm just going to put 40 points the next turn. And it's like, good.
So my favorite thing about this deck is because I had Infinite this season with a very different version of a Black Knight deck that blob kills. Because I'm like, all right, I've got Infinite and Magneto in one lane. That's a lane 1, and that's where they drop blob. And I'm like, never mind. Yeah. That blob is 50. My 32 is sad. Like, so Leech takes care of that problem. I think that's why Leech is so brilliant. The only thing I don't like about the deck is it's really reliant on Zabu. Like, I feel like if I don't see Zabu, the deck, like, and I'll play Zabu on 3 just fine, right? So, like, Zabu by turn 3, without America Chavez in the game, feels harder than it ever has, obviously. And, like, without that Zabu, it's really hard to win at the end. It's really hard to, it's not hard to win. It's hard to play Leech on 5.
Yeah. True. Yeah, you'd have to go, like, Dracula, Ghost Rider, Magneto or something, right? And that's going to lose to a lot of decks, but that could, if they don't hit their combo, then you can kind of beat up on decks like kind of maybe break a little bit. But yeah, you're probably retreating, right? If they look like they're hitting their stuff, then you don't get Zabu early. It can get pretty rough, right?
Yeah, unless you like want to high roll with Dracula, if you want to take the risk, you probably have like the Leech in your hand or Sif or Blade or something, and you're like, I'll take the 50-50 to get the 20 or the 3. So
sometimes you got to do it. Yeah, that's how I lost mine. I lost 2 in a row.
Well, 50-50, it's the right decision. It just is.
Yeah, sometimes you got to go with that. But there's also, I've seen some Gila Black Knight lists as well, which I'm probably going to grind. Oh, nice. That's great.
It ran Apocalypse. It was my auto build. I was like, I just hit, when auto build came out, I hit Black Knight and auto build, and no one else has gotten this list. But like, I swear it's the exact auto build list because it's even titled auto build Black Knight. And then I just was like, oh, I don't lose with this deck. And then all of a sudden Blob came out, and then I lose with this deck.
That sounds cool with Apocalypse, though. That sounds like a really cool deck.
Yeah. Well, because Apocalypse is a 14 power shard, right? Like, you're perfectly fine for that. And you run MODOK that you like basically never play. But once in a while, you've got Dracula in hand, and it's like turn 6, right? Or you haven't used your shard, and one of the first spots is something big. So like, you've got Apocalypse and you've got Black Knight, so you just throw a MODOK out, and like, now your last turn is you have Dracula on the board, so you've got a Dracula, so that Apocalypse is going to be 20, and you've got a 20 power shard to play on the last turn. It's like, cool, I'll take a 40 power last turn.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, it's like you said, it's nuts, but then you get a lane locked and blob.
Yeah, and then they just drop a blob, and you're like, oh well, I thought I was doing well here. Like, I think that's my problem with Blob. I don't dislike Blob, but like, he changes the fundamental math of the game so much that other 6s stop mattering, and I don't like that.
Yeah, it's kind of true. I love how they nerfed High Evil Hulk before. I thought about this a lot. I'm like, they nerfed High Evil Hulk. They're like, 620 is just too much, And then it's like, Blob's like, hold my beer, 670. And you're like, okay, they print this card and nerf High Evil Hulk. What the hell? This is wild to me.
Well, you have to skip a turn for 20 power for Infinite. But Blob can just be like, ooh, play everything on curve, as much high power stuff as you can, and now you get a 40 power card. Enjoy. It's just like, what? Like, what? I don't know. And it's Blob, right? Like, do you read comics at all? Because there's no character that should less be this powerful than Blob.
No, I don't read
17th rate X-Men henchman.
Yeah, I used to watch the animated series when I was growing up. That was the best. That's my Blob knowledge.
So that's Blob. That's exactly what Blob is. He's like a side character to side characters.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
I could see it, like, if he ever gets super out of hand, I could see them going to he gets half the power of the deck. If they got to buff his base power, but then he doesn't get 40, he's down to 20 or whatever, right? So half the power, whatever the deck is, and I don't know, that sounds reasonable to me.
Cap him at 30.
Yeah.
Say up to like cap him at 30. Like, what? Like, does he need to be more than 30 power for this game to work? Right? Like,
it's kind of funny though. It's kind of funny.
But the highest power single card in the game is otherwise Infinite, who's 20. Right? Yeah. Like, cap him at 10 above that. Fine. So that at least, like, if I get Magneto and Infinite in a lane, I can beat it.
That's fair.
Feel like Magneto plus Infinite should be able to beat Blob.
That's very reasonable. I do love the Blob getting really high though, just because
it's hilarious.
Yeah. It's definitely unreasonable for him to get that much, but I love it. It's funny that like the Leech has made a huge comeback because of the blob. It's really good, smart tech. And people started playing these Darkhawk lists with Leech in them.
Props to Ika.
Yeah, oh my god, he's great.
Is it Ika? Maybe I've been saying it wrong forever.
Ika. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if I
he streams exclusively when I'm busy.
Oh yeah, really?
So I've never heard him say it, but I do a video on all of his lists, so I hope I'm saying
it. Yeah, and he always like he seems to be always ahead of the curve too on Twitter. Like he always will post lists, and like a month later they're like popular and like crushing. I always love looking at his stuff. KX4N had one too.
Yeah,
this one on board, just like a Hawk Leech list.
Yeah.
That's like literally the same fucking deck as the.
Yeah, they're probably the same.
That is the Ika deck. Ika was I promise you, Ika was first because like Ika was that's literally Ika's list because what's his name? Made this... changed Jeff for Shadow King. Devilish changed Jeff for Shadow. I watched when it happened. Yeah, and like no one was playing. I messaged Den that night. I've told the story before. Sorry to anyone who's heard it, but like I messaged Den that night and literally I said to her, I said Leech meta. And like he wasn't on, and like 10 minutes later, I get like all these excited messages like, "Oh my god, this is the Leech meta." I was like, "Right, Darkhawk is fine, just run Leech." And he was like, "Ah!" And that was that. And then it went on Marvel Snap Zone, and then it was everywhere.
Yeah, no, that's hilarious. Yeah, I think he just posted this before. I had Ika's list before, but I had to delete it because I make so many lists.
I promise you, it's either the same list or within 2 cards. I'll pull up this list. Give me 1 second.
100%. But yeah, that was interesting too. I mean. I don't know. I love it.
Is that the I'm pretty sure that's the exact list. It's loading. My Snap doesn't load quickly. I've got anyone who can see. I'm loading it on my phone.
That's all good. This have you played this Sarah list by Revis? The one
I just lost in Gold 3 Conquest to it right before we started.
So I had a grindy Gold Conquest with this with the Black Knight with Desmond's Black Knight. I ended up winning, but I only had 1 life left. It was a grind. But like I won a few gold tickets with this list too. This list is filthy. Filthy. I'll read it out. It's Revis made this Sarah list. It's Shadow King, Zabu, Lizard, Maximus, Killmonger, Mobius, Gladiator, Shang-Chi, Enchantress, Miss Marvel, Sarah, and Legion. There is just I don't know how many tech cards are in this list. Like 6.
So I cut Lizard for Jeff.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've seen people doing that too.
It's like Jeff is a better card.
Jeff is just great. I guess you could. I guess the thing is you can Enchantress it. It's another.
I know what
you can put in the middle with Miss Marvel to get rid of Rogue.
No one's running Rogue anymore. They're just running Enchantress. Although I guess it's fine if they Enchantress it too. But like, Jeff. Like I just rather have the flexibility because now like the amount of times where I've needed to play a second 2 in a lane that I can then move because it's Jeff is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Prof X is still out there, You have to have Marvel and Jeff in there, you can contest Prof X, especially with the 5-1, right? So,
all right, can you pull up that Leech Hawk list?
Yeah,
I just want to see what's different in it, or if it's the exact same list with 1 different card. We've got Widow, Killmonger, Rockslide. This is card for card, baby. The exact same list.
That's it.
I'm looking. I'm like, this is the same list. There's no. It's Jeff or it's Shadow King. That's the entire difference.
I think Ika even had it before the OTAs, right?
Ika had it before the OTA, but he didn't like
Widow was
do anything
2-1
with it. Yeah. Widow's 2-1.
Yeah,
but like it really, it was better then. But now it can miss early plays. That's what Killmonger is really for in this list. Everyone's like, "Oh, Killmonger, what do you do? It's not really that great." Killmonger is here because you don't have early plays. So in a deck that runs a lot of 1s, you need an answer. So like sometimes you just Killmonger on 3 and you tempo away all their 1s, and you're like, all right, let's reset this.
Yeah, nice start Blob Thanos, right? There was a lot of Blob Thanos around.
There's still a decent amount, so it's nice.
Blob Thanos.
Yeah. The kid, I gotta ask you important question. How is the Chad performing in the Sarah Revis list?
He's great.
I saw the Chad in there. And is he broken? Is he broken out of 3-8?
Dude,
or 2-8 in this deck.
So
this card's good.
So Gladiator lost me my gold ticket. I was probably going to lose anyway, but I lost to the Hell Enjoyer deck, the Tribunal thing.
Okay.
And the 1 card in the deck that Gladiator can't kill is Tribunal, and he pulled Tribunal twice.
Yeah, you aim for the onslaught, right? You're aiming for onslaught.
Or Iron Man is fine too, right? But no. No, we're just gonna keep hitting Tribunal.
In general, right? That deck doesn't have a bunch of high power stuff, right? So, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Tribunal just happens to be a 9.
I feel like Gladiator to 3/8 is so good right now. He feels awesome in the meta. I mean, he's like the highest statted 3 card, right? Base stats. There's not many stuff that he doesn't kill. And if in this list, if he pulls something,
the 8
yeah. The 8 is huge. I mean, we had this joke when Gladiator first came out, and we talked about him. You know, even before in the data mines, he was a 3/8. No big deal. It was like he's gonna be broken at a 3/8. I'm gonna die on that hill. He said this like months ago, and then
but he was bad as a 3/7, so it's crazy how much that 1 power does, right?
Yeah, it is. It is crazy, and he's like,
it's probably not broken, but I had to ask. I saw the chat in there. I had to ask.
Look, no, it's really good. I thought the card was terrible as a 3/7. I told everyone not to get it. I thought it was worse than Martyr as a 1/4. But like because it was pulling your Legions, it was pulling your Annihilus, and then you just gave them 5 energy while they paid 0, right? You paid 5 to basically have 0 on the board.
Yeah.
And like that's not, especially because they'd get the on reveals, it wasn't worth it. Now that it kills like those types of cards, as long as the meta is where it is, like Gladiator kills like everything in Loki comfortably. It kills everything but 1 card in the Hell Enjoyer deck, right? Like it kills everything in the Sarah decks except itself. Like it's Annihilus, it's Legion, it's whatever else. And like sometimes that'll blow you up, but you play as if you know what the hell they're playing and you play it in the right location. Like if you know that they have Enchantress in the deck, don't play it on your Zabu.
Yeah. No, this card he's been killing it, and especially like on the last turn too. Especially if they filled the location or something. You know, if you already played Sarah out, it's so nice in this deck that you just throw priority with Sarah on 5, and then you can play whatever tech you want, plus like a 1-cost 1/6 Maximus and a 2/8 Gladiator. You know, it has ridiculous amounts of power.
So Mobius is great.
He's
if you're
awesome.
not running Mobius right now, dear listener, start running Mobius again. He's like freaking incredible right now.
Yeah, he's so good. And even like during, I think Elysium was one of the hot locations recently. This list was just cleaning up. I would just snap every time I saw Elysium and had Mobius.
Glazer, why do you think it's a time for Mobius just for a filthy casual like myself? I'm just curious.
All right, so the Sarah is back. Turning off Sarah is amazing, right?
True.
They very rarely have anything else they really want to do on 5, and then their 6 sucks. Especially this weekend when weekend missions are about to be Sarah Surfer all over the goddamn place. We've also got Ravona in 1,000 decks. You get 1 turn of Ravona, you get 1 turn of Zabu. If you're running Stature, no, you're not. Like if then there's just all the regular locations, right? Like all the common locations like Dream Dimension and everything else. If they don't affect you and affect your opponent, it's incredible. The best deck is still probably Loki. And Loki is 4, so Mobius is really good with a 4-cost Loki. Like, and those decks are now running Zabu, and you can turn that off. Beast is all over the damn meta. No, he's not. Right? Like, it's just all of the good decks right now want to do things. You run into a Death Wave. You're just like, all right, here's a Mobius. Now there is no death. Right? Not Death Wave, I guess. Death Null. But, like, now there is no death in this deck.
Yeah, She-Hulk, too. Yeah, there's a lot of She-Hulk and Magic stuff.
The She-Not decks, right? Like, they're like, I leeched you and I can double. Nope, never mind. You can play your Hulk, right? But you're not doubling shit.
Yeah.
Your Abomination, right? Like, no, thanks, though. Enjoy your 5/9. You have fun. I'll beat that.
Yeah, like, maybe I'll try the Sarah deck. I've definitely messed around with the Mobius only in the Ronin. I played a little bit of the Ronin stuff. And Mobius seems natural because you get owned by Loki in that deck, right? So just hit him with the Mobi, and they could take out the Loki players too.
So I think Ika has a better deck than this. I'm pulling it up again because naturally I closed the game like a dumbass when we stopped talking about it. But I covered it on like Monday or Tuesday, and it's my favorite deck right now. Like, it's so good. It's another Mobius deck. Give me 1 sec.
Is it with Sarah?
It is not. It is a Black Bolt Stature deck.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
So it's also, it's I keep being told that it's not good without Annihilus, and then I keep winning when I don't see Annihilus, so I'm pretty sure people are just wrong or playing it wrong. But like, I don't know. I can't fix that. Let me find it. Come on, Ika. Sorry, too many decks. That's Ika. I have like 7 Ika decks. This is ridiculous.
He's really good, dude.
Yeah.
So who is this guy? I just got Twitter, so I don't know anybody. So who is he?
Ika's _show.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the list. It is, let's start at the bottom end. Actually, let's do it by packages so it makes sense to everybody. It's got Hood, Sentry, and Annihilus. Black Bolt and Stature. Those are the two like packages of the list. And then besides that, it's just like good cards and tech shit. It's got Echo, Nico, Shadow King, Jeff, Scarlet Witch, Mobius, and Ms. Marvel. Oh, you want to build it? I'm sorry. Let's go.
No. Go ahead, build it.
So Hood, Echo,
up.
Nico. Hood, Echo, Nico.
I don't have Echo. I think that's probably why I didn't play it.
Oh,
Echo
no, just
seems to be so good.
Throw Enchantress in. Get Echo when the second series drops, right? Echo
series drops. 100%.
Yeah,
January 9th, Echo is going to be the first purchase.
So just Nico. And then two drops are Shadow King, Jeff, and Scarlet Witch.
Oh, Scarlet Witch. Nice tech. I like that.
So it's like a Sarah list, by the way, with no Sarah, right? That's great.
So that's what those old Darkhawk lists were, right? The Black Bolt Stature Darkhawk lists were Sarah lists without Sarah. Yeah. So this is what that is. So it's like not as vulnerable to shit. Ms. Marvel, 610, 410, sorry, Sentry, Stature, Black Bolt, and Annihilus.
Black Bolt.
Annihilus up, scroll up, kid.
5-7.
Yep. There we go. Nice.
Yeah. It's insane how powerful this is.
Oh, this looks good.
It's so strong.
Man, yeah, I can't wait for Echo. I'm mad that I missed this kind of like Echo meta because it's like everyone's playing ongoings and Echo just seems like an awesome card that people just ignore.
Just play her in the middle, yeah. Just play her in the middle and you're chilling, right?
So I was like, I can't play this list because like my whole meta right now is the Hell Enjoyer deck. I don't know why, but like everyone in my meta is playing Hell Enjoyer right now. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I can't play this, and this rolls the Hell Enjoyer deck. They're like, all right, Scarlet Witch. You're like, no. Sorry. They're like, all right, Magic. You're like, no, Scarlet Witch. They're like, okay, I've got Ravonna and Zabu. And you're like, no, Mobius. All right, so I'm gonna play Ms. Marvel in the mid. And you're like, no, Echo's in the middle. Like, just like, fuck. Like, what do you do? And then they're like, all right, so I'm gonna set up in that right lane. I can't set up in the mid lane. You're like, all right, so I'm gonna throw a Sentry, whatever it's called, a Void over there. Yeah. You have fun with that Void and that Hood. So I always set up the Hood in the left lane and the Void in the right lane. This way, wherever they want to set up their combos, if I know that's the matchup, I can disrupt it.
That's awesome.
Black Bolt against decks like that too, right? A bunch of big cards, like you're probably gonna hit something pretty good because they're holding all the big stuffs in their hand that they want to play, right?
Yep, it's real. It's just so good. And they're just like everything's really expensive, so they need the 7th turn. And if they don't have the 7th turn, they suck, right? Like it's just unless their Iron Lad gets lucky, like an Iron Lad lucky roll or a high roll on early Cosmo can beat you. But short of that, it's a fairly easy match.
Yeah, if they play Cosmo right away, then it's like you kind of just got to leave and just lose your 1 cube.
Yeah. That's again how I lost with the Sarah deck to it. Right? They saw Cosmo every game, and I kept giving them free Tribunal. So it would be like free Tribunal Cosmo, and I was like, all right, bye.
Yeah, what can you do? Nothing. And at least Nico here too is another location changer too. If you don't draw the Scarlet Witch, you have that chance as well.
My favorite thing to do is make copies of Echo.
That's great.
I'm just like, all right, Echo. Here's 2 lanes of Echo. Want to play cards? All your cards are ongoing. So what are you getting face slammed?
Yeah, I don't see so much that list anymore. There was a point last week where I was seeing it everywhere. Maybe when like KM Best posted his video on it. Maybe that was probably when. And then I just played the Sarah list, and they weren't really. I didn't see too many Cosmo, so I just Enchantress them and got a lot of 8 cubers.
Yeah, that list didn't have Cosmo in it. The Hell Enjoyer one
didn't. Okay, well it does now.
It's a super greedy list. He's basically like, I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player. We play combos. It either hits or it doesn't. That's how he plays the game. So
fair enough.
He's a Hell Enjoyer.
Yeah, he streams now too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are fun lists. I mean, have you been playing any of the new Martyr?
No, I want to, but I just haven't yet. I'm pretty sure there's a deck that goes Ravonna, and then on turn 5, it goes Professor X and Martyr, or Havoc and Professor X, and then it just wins.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like I like the sound of that. You're talking my language, Glazer. Right?
Like I always promise it works. It's like a real deck, and like I just haven't. had the time to sit down and really put it together, but the list works. Like it's just
I'm gonna go in pretty soon. I'm gonna put Martyr, Prof X, Havoc, and then
I think it's a Ronin list, just in case you're wondering, because then you can still, even if you only have 5 energy on the last turn of the game, just drop a Ronin, and Ronin is like the biggest 5 now.
Nice. Yeah.
You just have to manage to avoid the blob lane, right? Or you could you should be running Shadow King, and like if you're winning that lane with priority and losing another, you can go Shadow King into something else, which should work just fine.
Yeah, this list seemed to be okay. I found it on Untapped. It's just like a tempo list. It seems kind of cool with Iceman, Zero, Martyr, Master Mold, Ronin, Max Glad, Chi, Blob, Marvel, Iron Lad, and Arrow.
So I think Lambie's right, and Master Mold's just bad.
Oh, he doesn't like Master Mold?
Like it's just not a good card. Like it's bad stats, and it gives your opponent better stats. It's like, but their hand is full. It's like, yeah. And like, but I just gave them things to play that they might not have otherwise, right? Because if they're playing those cards, it's better than what they didn't have. I don't know. Look, it's a better early play than Maximus, but Maximus has stats that are through the roof.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel bad for Master Mold. I wish they would make him like a 2/0 or something, and he gets like +1 for every Sentinel on the board or something like that. Just something wild. Cool. That'd be kind of a cool, thing. But yeah,
there's no world where Master Mold should have less power than the Sentinels he makes.
That's true, actually. That's actually true. And it's cool, Kim Sentinel variant.
Yeah, see what happens.
This deck also has no business, like at all, running 0.
No, I don't know. I don't know who made it.
It's for Martyr and Maximus and Gladiator, and but like
Chad too.
Just play your damn cards. Like if
that's true.
You can't like Martyr. Sorry, 0 is for cards that are like really bad for you, and these cards aren't bad enough for you for it to be important.
Yeah.
That was my main takeaway on the pod last week. We were going through, wrapping up at the end. I said, listen, guys, just play the Gladiator. Live with the results.
I agree.
Exactly. The only other thing I've seen Martyr in is some Galactus lists too with Adam Warlock, because she's really good at getting priority early, and then you pull all of your cards and you can end up getting the Galactus off.
I saw Hooglin had one with a Moon Girl, She-Hulk, Martyr, Quinjet. But to your point, Glazer, I mean, if you run into Mobius, that deck is dead in the water. But yeah, it's all mega discount deck.
Teebs has a Zoo one that's really good. I had to put Shadow King in because I got sick of losing to Blob. But like Teebs has a Zoo that's really good.
Oh, that's awesome. What do you think do you think Zoo's going to have a resurgence with Kyra coming out next month?
Nope.
No.
Not really.
No big deal. Has been so excited for Zoo for so long.
I mean, I hope so. I love Zoo. Like, who doesn't love Zoo? But like,
I know.
Like Zoo tops out at like 17 power, and like, I feel like I can beat 17 power pretty easily with a lot of decks. Like we recently had like in August, hell yeah, when like Silky Smooth was the best deck, absolutely. But like, what do you do when they leech you?
Yeah.
Like, all right, all my ones are now zeros, and they have them, and they can play that 4 power Blue Marvel too, and they played higher stat things earlier in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying when they Loki you? Yeah. Yeah, that's
like Loki is the enemy of fun.
I know. Do you think they're going to touch him up?
I mean, yes, but I don't think they'll do enough. For whatever reason, they refuse to hit Loki.
Yeah, I don't. It seems like they just like, aside from the giving him the 1 power, they just kind of skirt around and do other stuff. And it's I don't get it.
They made him worse, right? Like,
yeah.
So
Chavez nerf made him pretty bad. Less consistency anyway, but not pretty bad.
And then the werewolf nerf made him a little worse. And like, he's not OP anymore. He's just not fun, right? Like, which they seem to not get. We're not saying that he's like always the most broken thing, but like, it's really not fun to have your own cards played against you.
No, I've kind of like, I had a lot of fun with Loki in the beginning and stuff, and I've kind of just like haven't played him in a while. And I just, I don't even have fun playing him that much anymore, because it's like, all right, been there, done that. It's like, all right, he does the thing. Like, it's less thinking, and you just not less thinking. If you're doing the bounce package with Lambie, then it's like one of the most complex decks in the game. I'm not about that life. I'm like the greedy, like, Quinjet.
I have like
and
an
just roll.
85% win rate with that deck. I'm so good with that deck. That is like exactly the way my brain. So when Lambie hits with a deck, I don't know why, but like it's exactly the way my brain works. And I'm like, oh, that's how. And people are like, that deck is hard. I'm like, no, it's not. That deck is perfect. It's like that's why part of why I cover him so much, right? Like W releases amazing decks, but I don't play W decks. W decks are just like, here are good cards. Good cards go boom, we win. Like I never play that. Lambie's like good decks are like, here are the 18 moving parts. What do they do? I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna win with that.
Yeah, it is fun. It's more satisfying. I liked Old Wolf, because like I'm not great, but like I would screw him up a lot of times. But like when you actually hit it and you figure it out and you plan it out a couple turns in advance and it actually hits, it was one of the most satisfying cards. To get him like a 315 or whatever the hell he would get up to, it was wild. I loved it. So
if they release Black Swan the way that we think they're going to release Black Swan, then he's going to be completely broken again.
Oh, which one was Black Swan?
Season pass for February, at least again data mine, so obviously grains of salt. 2/3 on reveal. Next turn, your 1-cost cards cost 0.
0. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Oh yeah, that.
So you can make yourself a 20 power werewolf on turn 6 and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And like if you have
February
Zabu,
season pass card, Glazer.
Yeah, February season pass.
Nice.
Black Swan. So like if you have a Zabu, you can play werewolf and that on turn 5 and just be like, let's fucking go. And then all that costs 0, so you could like play 1,000,000 of those and whatever the hell else you wanted last turn, because your ones were 0,
including monkey,
maybe a monkey,
including monkey, including Kyara, including whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, that'd be wild. Hopefully the February data mines seem kind of fun actually. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah,
February feels to me like September. We're just like, I'm like, you can't release these cards this way, right? And they're like, no, we can. It's like, you shouldn't. And they're like, but we can. All right, well, good for you.
410 can't be destroyed.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, that's the one that stood out to me. Is the 410 one is just absurd.
Super Giant is going to be completely insane.
1/2
this 1/2 this turn, and
right?
1/2 this turn, and next cards don't reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what kind of combos are you thinking about that? Because we couldn't think of any off the top of our heads.
Goliath. Oh, if you have priority going into turn 5, right? You play that with whatever the fuck else, and then turn 6 you play Goliath wherever they played cards, and you reveal first, and then they all go boom.
That's true. You turn them into great. Invisible Woman.
So, and then if you play that with a wave on 5, you play Goliath in the right lane. And then you play Grandmaster on top of it, and Goliath kills both the right lane and the center lane.
Oh god! What have we done, Glazer? What have we done?
That's literally like not even hard to do, right? I need wave and a 1-drop on 5, and then I need a 2-drop and Goliath on 6. Like,
yeah,
and I need a bunch of priority cards.
Super Giant has become Death Destroyer of face down cards.
Yeah, welcome to Cosmo, right? Like Cosmo in every deck, and you better see it on 3 or 4 because by turn 5 it's too late.
Oh man,
that's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah,
that's gonna be great.
Maybe that's
completely disgusting, right?
Yeah,
it's completely disgusting.
People are just not going to play cards in the middle on turn 5. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be like, all right, nothing in the middle.
But like, then you win because you're killing 2 lanes, right? Like, exactly. You know how many you need to win for Marvel Snap? That's a convenient number.
Oh, that's going to be great.
That's true. You just win the middle and then just kill it, whatever you're playing Goliath and GG.
Oh, it's hilarious. I'm pumped.
You can do wave like immediately, just as long as you have priority, wave into Goliath and Grandmaster. Quinny posted it. Quinny's a fucking genius. Like, holy shit, is Quinny a genius.
Yes.
But you can just do like that's broken as it is, and then you combine that with Super Giant, and it's just like, oh, come on.
Yeah, and everything's 0.
Two turns of cards. No, Super Giant's not revealed.
Oh,
you can make things 0 if you want, yeah.
Yeah.
It's silly.
That's wild. Oh my god, it's gonna be crazy. It'll be fun.
I love that. We'll see.
I mean, for the first 20 minutes before it's the most broken thing ever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it'll be like when Goliath got released, right? Like, you know, it was fun playing him, but then you start to realize, oh god, this is just
oh god, what did we do? Yeah.
I remember when he was a 5/5. That was fun. When like he was data mined as a 5/5, and we're like, oh my god.
I think he was fine as a 6/3. Like
Me
when
too.
he was a 6'3", I didn't think he was a problem. I don't think he's like. I think he's worse now, but I don't think he was a problem at 6'3".
That's what we said when he when they nerfed him recently. I'm like, I don't know why they took the power off. Like a 6'3" was completely fine.
People don't enjoy it, and they would like people to have fun playing their game.
Yeah, they just want to decrease play rate.
I was just raging because they put all this energy into not nerfing Loki. So I mean, how am I gonna rant on it again for like the 10th time? But
You're right. You're just right. So okay, we just did a podcast last night where we talked about every best deck in Marvel Snap ever.
Mm-hmm.
So let's broken cards in Marvel Snap's history, going in some kind of vague order. The card in the best deck was first. It was leader, right?
Leech leader meta, yeah.
Nerfed out of fucking existence.
Yeah.
Then it was Surfer, nerfed to give -7 less power than it did previously.
Yeah.
Then it was Zabu, completely fucking reworked. Cool.
Yeah.
Then it was the Quinjet shit in Thanos and Lockjaw, nerfed out of existence. Then it was Shuri. Shuri, it took them a few tries, but they nerfed it into something reasonable. Like Absorbing Man was the best for like 2 weeks. No, we can't have that. Like, what? Like, does the card Loki have compromising pictures of Second Dinner staff? Like, what are we doing? Every other card, Mobius was great for like a week and a half, and they're like, fuck that, no. Like Werewolf, Elsa, immediate changes. Captain Marvel, they were like, this has great stats. They're like, oh, no, it doesn't. Bye. Like, everything but Loki gets nerfed face first into the ground. And Loki, they're just like, but maybe you guys are just wrong, and it's not so bad. And it's like, what?
We'll make the collector a 2-0. That'll fix the problem. Like,
and then we'll put it back because the problem was somehow solved.
Yeah. Oh my god, Elsa came out. Then they nerfed Kitty Pryde and Angela. You know, like they nerfed Kitty Pryde pre even releasing Elsa. They were nerfing cards before broken cards came out.
And then they just didn't bother to like fix Kitty. They're just like, she's bad now. It's okay.
We'll give her 1 power. There, tap on the head.
Like Kitty was the best card in the game. They're like, oh no, she's not. 3 different times.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I'm happy. I'm happy you said that. I've been having that exact rant on this podcast for like months at this point. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't get it.
It came out like the first week of September. It is now the end of December. It will be all of September, all of October, all of November, all of December. That is
going to be a
third of the year. That is a third of the year that Loki has dominated Marvel Snap.
Yeah,
it's crazy. What would you do to fix him? Because I've heard like cool things like if he minuses the cost and -1 power from everyone too.
Yeah, I like that. I like -1 cost and -1 power. I like just getting rid of the cost reduction. Run the fucking Quinjet or don't.
100%.
Or make him like a 5/4. Like, why is he so much better statted than Sarah? Like, is there a reason for him to be just like Sarah, but like on all the steroids? Like,
just that's true.
Like, make him Sarah. Like 5/4. Sarah's a 5/4. You're a 5/4. Go.
Yeah, that's what I said before. Just make him a 5-drop, and your problems are fixed. Basically, you know, you don't even have to be that cute.
Yeah, 5-drop fixes them. I like your first suggestion though. Personally, just get rid of the cost reduction. I don't even mind if they move him back down to a 3 if they do that. Honestly,
make him a 3/3, no cost reduction. Yeah, something like that. Agreed.
Because its effect is really sick. Like, I think you should keep his effect. I think it's awesome. But, you know, if you have a Quinjet out, if you have a collector out, then you get the cost reduction. You get your collector still. But the Loki himself shouldn't also do cost reduction. I mean, there's very little cards in this game that have, like, 2 really good effects, you know, in one. Like, there's, like, no other card. Like, the Blob has, can't be moved as a second effect? Like, you know, like this.
The Blob can't be played with Sauron as a second effect.
Sauron, yeah.
That's what the Blob second effect is. Does not work with Sauron. That's what that card says. And if they rogue you, eat your own deck.
Yeah.
Crash the game. Did it crash your game? No big
deal.
For a
while,
yeah.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. It was like a 3/17 rogue because it's a Loki player.
Almost any time they release a card with 2 effects, it ends up broken, right? Because that was the problem with Mobius.
Oh yeah, he did have 2 effects, yeah. And then if you want to get into it, the Soul Stone, another rant that I've had on this pod many times.
Can't have 2 effects, kids. That's the problem.
Soul Stone should go back to 2 effects. Like,
I think so too.
Okay, so like outside of Professor X, and I don't think Professor X is interesting. My wife called and immediately hung up. I would assume that's an accident.
Yeah.
So outside of Lockdown, I think the game is super healthy when Thanos exists. When Thanos is part of the meta, the game is healthier. Except for
I agree. I like it.
But like,
I like Thanos when he's part of the meta.
So the problem is going to be if they release Kyra, A, 2 effects, so likely to be a problem, right? But B, like, Killmonger is one of the ways to stop Professor X bullshit in Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you don't have the energy turn. Never mind, I take it back. It should be fine. You would have to have Ravonna. And then you're not playing enough stones, so you're okay. Okay, we're good. I take it back.
Yeah, probably, unless they're doing like other shenanigans, but yeah. Like claw and stuff, but you're gonna
But like, fine, if you're doing that much work for it, you just
exactly. Then you do it. But yeah, I love like the lockjaw Thanos metas, but not the zero cost stones with Quinjet stuff where you can throw everything in the lockjaw. But yeah, even Space Stone used to be a ridiculous card earlier this year, right? Before they nerfed that.
You move out of the Space Stone space to any location you want. Like you compare Space Stone to like Doctor Strange, right? Where it's like, all right, only your highest cost card, and Doctor Strange costs 3, by the way. So 3/4, only your highest cost card, only to his location, which you're already crowding with 1 card, right? Or Space Stone, just move any card anywhere. Just whatever. Like, it's a 1 cost too. Like let's go.
I missed
that
Put
was
it back.
Bonkers.
I love Thanos.
Yeah,
and make Beast a 2/2 while we're here.
Yeah, exactly. Beast was a 2/2. That was great. Oh, filthy.
Kids, speaking of Thanos, do you want to... I mean, I don't know if you would have Thanos on your list. I would assume you probably would.
I would.
But do you want to talk about our top 5 favorite cards in Marvel Snap?
Let's do it.
I was doing most fun, not favorite. But yeah, sure.
That's enough. I call favorite most fun. Yeah, that's same thing.
Okay, you told me most fun, so I have a different list.
Yeah, I told you most fun. I did most fun too. No big deal winning his own. He went rogue here.
Hey, sometimes you got to go your own way.
Exactly. I did like most fun cards that I'm having with right now kind of thing. But I think No Big Deal did all time as well. But
I did do whatever. Basically, most fun all time is mine.
Oh, all time! No one told me all time. That's gonna
I
change
didn't do
everything.
all time. Oh, okay. I didn't do all time either.
I've only got 4. I'll come up with the 5th as we talk.
All right.
Okay.
So we already talked about 2.
Yeah.
Black Knight and Thanos.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, Black Knight right now is definitely on my list. I've only played him for the last couple of days because I just got him. But I mean, I'm having so much fun with this card. The high roll potential is amazing. He seems like a pretty cool card. They buffed the Ebony Blade recently, and so he's actually viable. This is a fun card. I love high rolls, so this is a card just like fits in my wheelhouse, and it's just a ton of fun.
So your number 5 is Black Knight, Kid?
Yeah, we can put him at number 5. That's fine.
All right, Glazer, what do you got at number 5?
Let's just keep Black Knight there so we can move on from the card we already talked about.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't order, but
I put High Evolutionary as my number 5. Ooh. I thought
you like playing that 4/4, huh?
But yeah, just a nice 4/4. Pop them out of lockjaw, 4/4, easy rolls. Let's go. Turn my Wasp into a 4/4, but no, I don't know. I thought it was cool. Just basically 6 new cards in the game. Loved them when he came out, and I keep going back to him. And yeah, like I said, on my list, I tried to do cards that have been in the game for a while. So, like with Blob, I might get bored of him next month. Like, I don't know. Like, it's an awesome card now, but I might just be bored of him. So these cards are just, I can't stop going back to, no matter what I do, no matter what happens in the meta. I keep going back to these cards, and High Evo is my number 5.
Nice.
Yeah, High Evo is a ton of fun. High Evo is one of the cards that I would tell people like probably one of the best cards to spend for 6,000 tokens if you're a newer player. Because the decks are almost always viable. You already have all the cards, and it's just and it's a ton of fun too. So it's a deck that's usually good. You have the cards, and it's a lot of fun. I think it's one of the better, if not the best, 6,000 tokens you can spend in this game.
I mean,
all right, kid, what do you got at number 4?
It's probably it's the best 6,000 tokens you could spend.
Yeah, that's probably true.
What, right? Like, because you have Collector, you don't need Quinjet. You can just have Loki.
Yeah.
Buy the season pass, kids.
If you don't want to be a filthy Loki player, then Haivo. If you want the big bad, Loki can be series dropped.
You mean the big bad like Jeff and Iron Lad?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's great. So my next one is a card I never usually play. This is just only recently and only because of the hot location, which I normally hate hot locations. But the last hot location was your opponent copies the biggest card in your hand. I played a ton of Agatha. So Agatha's mine.
Oh my god!
I have like no boosters for Agatha because I've never played her, but I played her on the hot location. I had so much fun that day. It was like one of the only times I can say I actually had fun on a hot location day because I didn't really care and I just grind with Agatha, and it was hilarious giving people Agatha and seeing all like the Deadpool emojis. People don't know what the hell's going on. And so I was having a ton of fun with Agatha recently, so I have her on mine.
That's dirty. That's dirty.
Yeah.
All right, Glazer, what do you got at 4, buddy?
All right, we're going to go with Sarah, my first favorite card in the game. I love Sarah. I love Sarah decks. I love cost reduction. It is about the most fun thing I think you can do in Snap. Yeah, it's only a 5/4 now. Yeah, there's 1,000 things that are better. But there's nothing quite like a good Sarah deck, especially if you combine it with some other cost reduction. Like
I love that pick, Glazer, and that's exactly what I had in mind when I made this top 5 favorite cards list. Cards like Sarah, right? They're just like always good. It's basically since they came out and just have never really gone away, for too long in the meta, right?
I only have one newer card on the list.
Oh, no big deal. What you got?
All right, I put Lockjaw at 4. I think this was one of the. I think it was my first Series 3 purchase in the $1,000 shop that RIP. I don't think that exists anymore, but
the $1,000 shop, aka Marvel.
I don't know. I don't care that they nerfed them. I think it was a good nerf actually. I think it was pretty eloquent. Like if the card was getting too out of hand, you still get to play one every turn. The Jane Jaw stuff, I still love it. I go back to it all the time. I mean, right now it's great with Thanos. I think some people are playing it with Thanos, even the top players. Some of them are doing Lockjaw, some aren't. I like to just because it's fun, and I think it's good, and it kind of gives your deck lets you cycle through your deck. You're playing 12-card deck, so if you're able to cycle through it like you're playing a Hela or something like that, Lockjaw, just awesome card. He's the good boy, and it's so much fun.
Lockjaw is a fun card. I love it. I didn't put Lockjaw in here. I did more recent, but yeah, if I would say all time, Lockjaw is definitely up there for me as a fun card. I actually had Sarah on my list next too because I love Sarah, and for all the reasons Glazer said, and especially playing this list from Revis recently. Cost reduction is so much fun to play. Anytime there's cost reduction, I love it when the game gets broken, and it's just a lot of fun playing a bunch of stats on the last turn. And yeah, it's fun to see Sarah kind of making a little bit of a comeback now because there was a couple months where, like last month and the month before, there weren't too many Sarah decks, whereas like earlier on in the year, it was like every single month Sarah was like near the top, right?
Yeah.
There'd be some sort of Sarah deck that was, doing really well. So I kind of missed her, and so it's nice to have her back.
Yeah, people are getting creative with the Sarah now. Like it used to just be a bunch of tech cards, a bunch of good 2-cost cards. You make them 1, that's a 50% reduction. There's your Sarah deck, right? It was that for so long, right? It's just all the best tech cards in the game, bunch of good 2s, rock and roll. But people are getting like really creative with their Sarah list now. Like you could do just nasty combos that are getting unlocked, and people are getting smart with it. I've never been like super heavy into playing Sarah decks, but I definitely respect the creativity. You guys are like Revis, like these decks are people are grinding out really cool lists.
To be fair, this Revis list is just all deck cards.
Yeah, but it's got you got Marvel, like Miss Marvel.
Yeah, true. Yeah, 415.
It's
I guess it is
tech
like
cards and the best card in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tech cards and a 415.
The second best card in the game.
Yeah. Or 315 on the last turn, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or 215 if you have Zabu, which is just
Zog was in there too.
Come the fuck on, right? Like what? 215.
So good.
215. Just like
yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with Miss Marvel.
This card needs to exist less.
I thought she was going to get touched up in the last OTAs, to be honest. I thought they're going to make her 4s across the board.
I think they're going to patch her. I don't know how, but I think they're going to patch her.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, they gotta bring her down a bit. I think they should go 4-4. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Just do 4 on each side.
I think you do 5 and 4s or 4s and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 5 and 4 is good. I think 4s and 5s it's not going to change anything. You're still just going to play her in every deck, you know.
Maybe.
I think that's I think you got to hit her. Yeah, give her a couple power. She's still better than Omega Red if you put her just 5s and 4s. You know, still a better card than Omega Red.
She's a better card than everything but Loki.
Yeah.
Like,
if you nerf,
that's where she is, right? Like even if you nerf her down to like a 416, she's not 416, 412. She's a better card than everything but Loki.
Yeah, you might be right about that. She's very good.
Yeah.
Glazer, what do you got at a third favorite, or another one of your favorite cards?
All right. So my problem is I've got 4 cards for 3 spots now.
Okay, I'll go for 3.
I'll just do honorable mentions at the end. So I'm gonna go. You know what? Fuck Thanos. Thanos is off my list. Honorable mention yourself, Thanos. We're gonna go Annihilus. I love Annihilus.
Yeah.
And I don't like junk for shit. I think junk is boring and nonsense. But I absolutely love the little 3-card package with Annihilus and like how it plays in different decks is this like tempo thing. It feels like Black Bolt Stature back in the day, but better.
Yeah. Yeah, more fun too. Like sending stuff over is fun. Like it's fun to watch it go.
And there's counterplay, right? Like I really like it because like your opponent can try and play around it, and like you can see the turns start to take long as they realize they can't actually fill the right lane into another lane. Like it's nice. It gives you the information you need to like decide. It's all good stuff.
And even holding him on turn 6 too. You know, you could play like even sometimes a Hood Annihilus. You know, you just get that power 10 points.
Just 10 power and then another 10 to their side. 20 power last turn of the game, no problem. Yeah. Don't even have to skip a turn.
That's true.
20 power on the last turn of the game.
What do you think? What do you think about you? Are you keeping Sentry? I saw Den just post. He was talking about a bounce package, and he was saying Sentry's bad. He's like, I don't like the Sentry with the Annihilus anymore.
So Den's trying to make Selene work, so he's wrong.
Okay, I was gonna say it's probably just a Selene, right?
Yeah, it's Selene. So you know what you do? You don't run Selene. Problem is suddenly solved, right?
Yeah.
So what's nice about Sentry is when you play Sentry, especially on turn 5, they know Annihilus is coming, and it's very hard to both Shang-Chi the Sentry and stop the Void. Mm-hmm. So if you can't do both of those, then you lose, right? So like you're saying good luck doing both. And I think
you're forcing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice that Annihilus came and brought a card like Sentry into play. That's a card no one ever sees, you know? So it's kind of cool.
It's happened a few times, right? Like Black Bolt was the worst card in the game, then Stature came out. Rock Slide was the worst card in the game, then Darkhawk came out. Like I really like when they design things that do that. Yeah,
and then they nerfed Black Bolt and Stature too, right?
Yeah, because like that deck never needed a nerf. It's super annoying.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that was a weird one. They're just like, this is the best deck. We got to hit something. Let's go.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, we're just gonna take 1 power off the whole deck. You like it now? Like, no. Like, we got you. Like, dude, no one was complaining about that deck. It was just fun.
Yeah, they're like, trust us. It's the best deck in the game, period. And no one was complaining about it. But it was
but it was fair. It was like, so there's best deck and there's best deck by gradients, right? Like Loki when Loki's like really the best deck, it's like, oh, nothing else is close, right? Like when Silky Smooth is the best deck, and when like that Darkhawk deck are the best deck, everyone's like, all right, cool, let it be the best deck. I can mess with that, right? Like,
yeah, when decks are like the best decks, but they do like pretty fair things.
Yeah,
I feel like there's no like things. Yeah, there's no like uproar because it's like, all right, that makes sense. I got beat by that, you know, perfect. But like, when decks are doing unfair things, like that's when people get pissed off, like with Professor X, right? Because then they just can't play their cards, or Eliath,
or Bounce, or like the original like those, or Thanos, or like Shuri, where it's just like, I've got 40 power, armor, and Cosmo. 60 power, 40.
Yeah.
I've got 60 power, armor, and Cosmo. Good luck, right? Like that's like none of that is fair, right? Like there's nothing you can do except have a tech card, or like if there's a million things you could do to beat the Darkhawk list.
Exactly. Yeah, and the Black Bull Stature list too. Back in the day, I felt like
Yeah, it was like a 55% win rate deck, and there's like, well, it's just the highest one. We gotta hit it. It's like, all right.
Yeah, that's it. But like, and then they hit everything in it, though, right? Like,
Yeah,
like, all right, there's that last power off Darkhawk. There's there go Black Bolt and Stature, and while we're at it, let's take one more off Enchantress. And what else lost? Something else lost power there. Oh, Legion ended up in that deck, -1 power. Everything in that deck.
And then Rockslide. Didn't Rockslide
Yeah,
Rockslide
was a 4/6, then it was a
that's it, yeah.
4/4, 4/5,
Yeah.
then 3/3. Like, they
That's
just
it,
were
yeah.
like, yeah, we don't like any of this. Thanks.
Yeah, I hated that
But-
Rockslide hit. I thought it was stupid. Just keep him at a 4/6. It's fine.
Yep. Well, they should not. Rockslide's one of the strongest cards in the game, and was even
It's
before
good.
Darkhawk. But like, it's nice that no one realized that.
Mhm.
Like, it was a 4/6 draw one less card for your opponent. That's
That's
a
great.
lot of power.
Yeah, true.
It's great, especially with Zabu
was crazy
3/6.
back then, Yeah.
Yeah. So like, here's tempo, and now you are all but guaranteed to have one less draw this game in a game that has no card draw and 6 guaranteed turns.
Yeah.
Like, I can
no,
blank your draw
it's
is
awesome.
real strong.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. This is definitely a good card. And Darkhawk used to be 4/2, right? On release?
Darkhawk was 4/2 on release.
Yeah. We thought,
Darkhawk was one of my big misses. I thought Darkhawk was going to be bad.
oh man, that's all right.
in other games, you don't play bad cards to make good cards good, but in Snap, you totally do because it's 12 cards.
Exactly. That's true. Hey, you said Legion was going to be good. You were one of the only ones saying that, so.
Yep, I was. That was my big hit. I knew
There
Legion.
you go. All right, no big deal. What you got?
Okay, so I put Cerebro on 3. You know, I
hate
can't
Cerebro.
stop coming back. You know, I love me some Cerebro. Anytime any card comes out and has a power to it, I just throw it in the Cerebro deck.
Anytime a card comes out with power,
Yeah, it's just,
if it's not a 0, it goes in Cerebro. Let's go.
yeah, and one day Cerebro 0 might be a thing because you know Cerebro and Mystique are both 0 power cards. So you know that is just something to keep in mind. Anyway, you know, obviously you could Bast, and then yeah, just I don't know, man. I love Cerebro. It is Cerebro 5. It's been really cool lately. Enchantress is 5. There's a lot of ongoing stuff, so that's pretty interesting. You know, crazy with Doctor Doom and yeah, Cerebro 3 historically, but you know he's lost some cards. I mean, he used to have like Mobius and Shadow King in there, like crazy 3 drops that were broken. You know, Shang-Chi, Mobius, old Shadow King, and Cerebro was just insane on Cerebro 3. And yeah, I don't know. I just I love me some Cerebro, man. I again, one of my first Series 3 cards that I got, and I've never stopped playing it.
I hate Cerebro as well.
It's understandable if people hate it. You know, it's
You're
just
such a good
know,
Cerebro player. I
it's a
just
polarizing
like
card, you know.
I never draw it, and I just got so sick of never drawing it that I'm like I can't just play a deck that relies only on drawing this card that I never get. And I just got so I got mad about that.
Well,
so.
5's kind of nice if you like. Yeah, if you're like C5's kind of nice because you don't play Mystique, and you know it's nice if you get Cerebro, but you can still win without it. You know, so
Yeah, Martyr. Unless Martyr loses you the game.
yeah. Well, yeah, nice if she's a 1/7. Yeah, ideally, right? But yeah, if you don't draw Cerebro, GG.
If Martyr can lose you the game as a 1/7, then you deserve to lose.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Exactly.
thinking, right? Like, you know.
That's great. Yeah, you love Cerebro, so good for you. You and Dexter can have it.
I hate Cerebro.
Me too.
Like,
never played.
they're
I
like
cannot
you,
make that
they're
fucking deck work, no matter what. Like, I'm guaranteed to like just be sad. I'm like, oh, a bad location. Oh, there's Mystique, no Cerebro. Up. Oh shit, I just lost all my cubes. All right, I guess I'll go home.
Yeah. It's funny too. It's like, oh yeah, Cerebro 3 is the deck that beats Loki, you know, when the first Loki came out and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll try that. And it's like, oh, I'm just like getting rolled because I can't play this deck because I'm so bad at it and I never draw Cerebro. So I'm like, I'm done with this, whatever.
Oh, yeah, those were good times. C3 with all the broken tech cards, like 2/3 Mobius and 2/3 Shadow King. Insane.
That's great.
So 2 sevens in that deck.
Yes. Who's up next? Is it me?
It is, I think.
I'll say one of the cards recently that I've been having a lot of fun with is Gladiator after his buff. Mm-hmm. I love playing him, and I love sometimes I even love when he misses because he swears, and I think it's hilarious, and I just laugh. And so like it takes away the pain of drawing their tribunal or death or something like that. He's just a great 3-drop that provides a lot of stats and very minimal downside now, most of the time. So I just have a lot of fun with him. And when you destroy the other player's cards, even though you're thinning their deck, sometimes you hit key cards, and it's just fun watching them evaporate. So he's a card I've been having a lot of fun with recently.
Yeah, Gladiator. The swearing is like a nice emote moment for you and your opponent. Like it's the perfect time to just start spamming some emotes. Deadpool, like even if you're baiting a Shang-Chi later or something, it's just it's a nice time to connect with your opponent and have fun playing the game for sure. Gladiator's phenomenal. So much fun.
Oh, that's great.
Glazer, what do you think? You got another one, buddy?
Oh, my number 2,
yeah.
And then I'm doing honorable mentions before number 1. Beast.
Yeah.
Beast as a 2/2 would have been my favorite card in the game. I love Bounce Beast more than anything, and Bounce is like a Bounce deck is just a Beast deck, right? Like whether it runs Falcon or not, because Falcon wasn't even in them for like half the time. Like more than any other card, Bounce decks or Beast decks. Beast is incredibly fun. The cost reduction is busted. Trying to figure out like how to balance how many cards you play in that lane before you can Beast, how greedy you can get, works amazingly with stuff like Hit Monkey or Kitty Pryde. Works great with stuff like Werewolf. It's just like this massive enabler. It's how I'm so sure Black Swan is going to be nuts, because what Black Swan reads as to me is get Beast's effect, but don't have to bother bouncing your shit.
Yeah.
Or like Falcon and then Black Swan, right? Like you can just like be like, all right, cool. So turn 4, Falcon, Black Swan. Turn 5, 17 ones and a Hit Monkey, and be like, beat me. Bye.
Yeah.
Have fun trying to leech. Yeah.
Turn
maybe
6
turn
Firestar when she comes out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Maybe she'll come in that spotlight, like, because, they changed the data mines, right? The week before, we'll just have Firestar in that spotlight, gosh, with Black Swan.
So, yeah, Beast is the most fun freaking card. Like, I love Bounce. Bounce is easily my most successful deck ever. Whether it be Bounce Loki, whether it be Bounce Kitty, whether it be Bounce Monkey, like no matter what the Bounce deck is, there was the Bounce Thanos way back in the day that I loved so much. My favorite deck ever was it's Lampia's Valhalla. It was a Bounce deck. No matter what Beast is in, I love Beast. So Beast is like the ultimate enabler. There's only one thing I love in the game more than Beast.
There was that Bounce Thanos deck was a lot of fun, and doing a Time Stone on turn 1 into a Beast Time Stone on turn 2 was filthy.
Yes, it was.
Then you get a 0 Time Stone, and it's like, all right, I get free ramp and draw now. That was like, to me, I've said this before, but that was like one of the best like turn 1, turn 2 plays I think in the game. At the time, it was like it's so wild. Your tempo is insane,
so
and you're drawing
like,
2 cards.
Imagine that with like Nico now. Or like Beast. My like number 1 wish for Marvel Snap is to make Beast a 2 again. It will immediately break the game, but it would make me so happy.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, but you'll be funny. A part of that. You'll be a part of it though, so it's good. You'll be on the right side.
Look, as long as it's Bounce, I don't care. I like when Bounce is. Everyone's like nerf Bounce. I'm like I don't care. I'll play Bounce all day, every day. I'll play Bounce Mirrors. I don't fucking care. I'll play Bounce into your Sandman and win. None of this bothers me.
Yeah, Bounce was a ton of fun. I love Bounce. Beast is a good pick.
Yeah, so Beast an honorable mention would be Bast, because I want Bast in those decks so bad. Like when Bounce has to cut Bast, I get so sad. I'm like, but I want to run Bast.
Yeah. I want that 6 power swing on Hood.
Or the 6 power swing on Iron Man.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I love that pick. I mean, Beast, just classic card too, has been in the game a long time. Super unique effect. I love that. For number 2, I put Hella. I'm a Hella enjoyer as well.
Wait, oh my god, you're like number 30 rank?
No. I wish, but no, I can't do it. I can't do the hot locations, but yeah. I love Hella. The MODOK, I love this card in general. Like Black Knight's awesome right now, but I just got the card like a couple days ago, so I haven't had him long enough to know if I'm gonna keep playing him or not. But like MODOK discard to me is cool deck, but it's very formulaic. Everybody runs the exact same list. Let's just say with old Chavez, it's the exact same list. Maybe one card is different. Like maybe one guy has a collector, one guy has a Wolverine. Like it's not that everybody knows exactly what you're doing. It's kind of a little bit boring to me. So I like Hella lists. I like Hella lists without Invisible Woman Tribunal, especially now that Eliath, like Glazer said earlier in the pod, Eliath will just make your Invisible Woman absolutely miserable. But I've always liked playing it. You know, Blade buff was awesome to hit the right side every time. Colleen always hits your lowest card. Silver Samurai always hits your lowest power card. And Lady Sif always hits your highest power card. So we got targeted discard. We play the Hella, chaos ensues, and it makes me very happy. So I put Hella as number 2.
That's great. I love it. Yeah, Hella is like my Infinity Conquest like girl now. You know, that's all I do is I roll Infinity Conquest and I snap every time, and that's it. If I get a border, I get a border. Made it to the final boss last month. We'll see what happens this month. But Hella is just so much fun. Hella is so much fun. You just gotta be happy about the high rolls, and if you're trying to climb with Hella too, you just gotta leave. You know, leave when it's appropriate. Know when to leave. You leave 6 times in a row, and then you win the 8-cuber, and you're net positive. So,
true. Yeah, and you could play it with Black Knight this season if you want.
Yeah,
that's how I infinite. I like Hella. I just don't like all in Hella outside of the Hella Tribunal deck, I guess, which doesn't exist because it's live now. But yeah, so like. Outside of that one deck, I really, 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 really love like non all in Hella, Black Knight Hella where it's like better Ghost Rider. Where like I'm just gonna bring back 2 to 3 things, and those 2 to 3 things are all gonna have 12 power, and I'm gonna win. Like that's my kind of Hella, because like the 6 games in a row of Moon Knight hitting my Hella when it's like 6 cards in hand makes me want to throw my computer through the wall. So I can't do that.
Welcome to the casino, baby.
It's like, all right, that was fun. Look, what are you going to hit? Like, all these great cards. I got nothing in hand I need but Hella. Oh, it's Hella again. All right, well, they hit Snap, I hit Retreat, and we're like, next.
Yeah, it's next casino Hella card's coming in February. The 3/4 that you discard 2 and gives you an extra power, gives you the electro effect, energy. Sorry,
I think that's just a busted card.
Yeah. February looks ridiculous.
I don't even know if that's a Hella card. I think that's just broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might just be a broken discard card,
Look, every card they're releasing in February, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
The game doesn't need this effect.
We're having fun already. We're already having fun.
Like, why? We don't want the craziest thing ever. Are they all broken? Hang on, because that's like 4. Because Black Swan, Colobsidian,
he's the Giant, can't be destroyed.
And we're missing one, right? Which is are we missing one, or is that
the MODOK one at the end? There's
but that's the 2 energy, yeah.
Isn't there a 1-drop?
Oh god, yeah, you're right. Corvus Glaive. What is Corvus Glaive exactly? Oh no, Corvus Glaive is the plus.
He's a 3/4.
Yeah, 3/4 give +1 energy because this game is stupid sometimes. Proxima Midnight is what I'm looking for.
Was she the Series 4
one?
Oh
my god. Yeah, if a card is discarded, she jumps into play at your highest, at your low card location.
Yeah.
Oh no, when this is discarded, she has to be discarded.
Yeah. This is the one we were talking about, like, if you're playing a MODOK discard, like, you're pretty happy discarding her with MODOK. It's like a 5/14.
It's like $20.99 for MODOK, but better, The 4/6.
It's insane. It's just so stupid. Insane. It's like, hey, just have wherever you're like struggling, have 6 free power. What?
Yeah.
Like this whole month is like ridiculously bonkers.
They must have just got like they give discard.
Supergiant is the Series 4, so everyone gets the Eliath shenanigans.
Yeah. I think they felt bad about reworking Chavez for the discard players, so they're giving them all the broken cards.
Wait, it's not next turn. It's all cards played this turn and next turn don't reveal until the game ends.
Yeah.
Ooh. So just after you play the Supergiant, everything's face down? Is that what it says?
For that turn and the next turn.
Yeah.
So if Supergiant reveals, nothing else reveals that turn. And then next turn, nothing else reveals.
Yeah, so you try to play it on 5, basically. Is like a turn 5 play, like you're saying.
Yep.
Or you could play it before and then just play priority cards.
If you have priority, you could play it on turn 4, keep everything down turn 4 and 5, and then on turn 6, you have priority, so their stuff isn't revealing, and your Eliath still reveals.
Yeah, I guess you'd play the Giant as your last card to make sure you get priority, right?
Well, if you have priority going into turn 4, then you can just play this card as your last card on turn 4, and then your cards are flipped up, and then you're going to priority for turn 4 and 5, and going into 6, because none of the cards are going to be the face down. And so you're just alive
this
on
card
6.
Can't exist. This card
that's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous.
Like, what the fuck, man? What?
You're going to be playing Martyr first, just getting that priority early.
It's like you said, Glaze. It's just like a 2-card combo that's just auto, like just Super Giant Elias. It's just auto win, basically, right? So,
like they're releasing a 4/10 can't be destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that one,
Like, and that's like the worst card that month.
Oh, I don't know, man. That one's gonna be good.
Unless it's face down with Eliath.
That's true. Yeah, face down.
That's getting destroyed.
Well, Proximate Midnight is a 0/6.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. Yeah,
Corvus Glaive is a 3/4 +1 energy for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you're right. These cards are cracked.
Like, and then Super Giant we just talked about, and then the other card is Black fucking Swan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like
this is gonna be a ridiculous month.
They can't release these cards. Someone tell me that this is.
Yeah, we're gonna get. the data mine reverse for sure.
Yeah, it's like, never mind, we forgot. It's not that month anymore.
I think they test them like 2 weeks before. This, from what I'm seeing, right? Like the data mine comes out like 2 months in advance, and then it seems like a couple weeks they see what the meta's like leading up to it, and then I think that's when they actually do testing. And then they probably realize like, oh, this Firestar thing is just like is going to break the game, and we're taking Christmas off, so we can't do it. You know.
I think they test it early, and then they test it again as they get closer. They're like, hey, this is totally fine in the meta from 3 months ago, and then a few months later, they're like, oh right, we didn't realize we were going to nerf Eliath into this when we designed Super Giant.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. Mm-hmm. That's hilarious.
Right, so, Kid, what do you got at number 1, buddy?
Wait, no. Honorable mentions.
Oh, okay. Honorable mentions. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right, I got 3.
Yeah.
You got honorable mentions? Go ahead, Kid.
All right. So my honorable mention 1 was Thanos. I think you already said Thanos. We talked about it. Number 2, I guess if we're going all time, this would be on my list. But like my second honorable mention is Nimrod. I love this card. I think the card's so fun. I love seeing these little pink Kirby's all over the entire board. So happy they buffed this card. I wish they would have buffed this card during the season pass because as a 5/5 it was so bad. Once they buffed it to a 5/6, I loved playing this card in any destroy deck, especially with Shuri. It's hilarious and it's just so much fun filling up the board with this card. Mm-hmm. Even though it doesn't always win, it's just a ton of fun. And especially if you Shuri them and they get Shang-Chi'd, it's the best.
Look, even Shuri'd Nimrods, that's 24 power at lanes. That's fair Marvel Snap. I think like 30 should be the top line power in Marvel Snap. Like we should all be playing a game that has from 0 to 30 power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As soon as we start getting above that consistently, the game breaks.
Yeah, because then it like makes all these other cards obsolete, right?
Yeah.
Like when you get like 570 blob, it's like, okay.
Yeah, like it's like, all right, so I've got 4 Nimrods in this location. Like they're 48 power, and then it's like blob. You're like, shit.
Yeah. And you had to have like 8-card combo to get there.
Yeah, they're just like, but I had blob in my deck, so it didn't matter. You're like, but yeah, okay, bye.
Even now, like before blob came out, like at the beginning of the season, or like Phoenix Force was great. Like I love playing Phoenix Force. That was such a fun card, and I know you love Phoenix Force. I don't know if that's gonna be your number 1, but I know you're a big Phoenix Force guy.
Yeah, I love
but like
Phoenix
now,
Force.
like getting the 8 multiple mans, like I tried it. It does like it just loses now because like things get so tall. I'm moving like multiple mans all over the place, and every lane's 30, and it's like I still lose. I'm like, what the hell?
It's extraordinarily stupid, and it's the hardest combo in the game to pull off.
I know,
and they're just like, but it loses. Like it should at least be a you win, right? Or like you probably win, and now it's just like, but no, you don't win.
Yeah,
that lane is Professor X'd and you lost it, and then Blob is in this other lane, and we don't care about your stupid crap. We have Blob.
Yeah,
you might lose to Tribunal bullshit too. Like like you said. Yeah. So what do you got for honorable mentions, Glazer?
All right, I got 2. Because we already said Thanos. I got Havoc because Havoc is super freaking fun. I love Havoc.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Like Havoc, I was like, I think there's something with Havoc, and I was like, Havoc's bad. And I was like, Havoc's not bad. So like it's reading Second Dinner, right? Second Dinner releases these cards that people think are going to be bad as Series 4, and they're always at least decent.
That's
like
true.
if they released a bad Series 4 card, I guess Martyr technically.
I was gonna say what was last month Martyr.
They immediately buffed, right?
Yeah,
like
that's the only one.
Yeah, and then and it's a good card that is 1/5. Havoc 2/0, good card, right? Like even when it's just a 2/8, 2/8 is amazing stats. It's a really good card. You go back to like other like just every Series 4 card. Man Thing ended up really good. Series 4 cards are good. And then my other one is Valkyrie. I love Valkyrie. I would give so much money for Valkyrie to be a 4-cost card.
Oh. Do you think it'd be too broken as a 4-cost?
Please keep her 3 because I do love Cerebral 3 Valkyrie.
Yeah. Make it a 4/3, and the exact text is this text cannot be copied. So you can't like absorbing mana or something. You can only do it once.
Yeah.
You can't absorb mana. You can't Odin it. It's because she goes to the afterlife. You see.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Yeah, just don't even make it on reveal. Just make it the thing.
Yeah. This happens like that. That would be amazingly cool. Valkyrie is one of my favorite cards. It's Lauren Whatev's favorite card. It was in my treasured Valhalla deck, and every card in that Valhalla deck is one of my favorite cards.
That's great. Yeah, would it be too broken with Zabu making it a 3/3?
I mean,
that's always the 4-cost card, right?
So right. But like, is that more broken than like Shang-Chi and Enchantress on the last turn of the game?
That's true.
Which Zabu already does, right? Like,
that'd be very interesting.
Yeah. No, I love that pick. That Valkyrie and the Beast pick are really cool. I just put I didn't have honorable mentions, but I just thought of them as you guys were saying it. I got Blob because it's it's recent, a lot of fun.
Blob because it's Blob. We love Blob.
Just doesn't get capped at 30. It just goes to 70 if you play a Koye and Infinite. And so yeah, Blob's really fun, but I can see him just getting ridiculous and boring. So but yeah, honorable mention, awesome card right now. Silk, I put. I love Silk, man. This has been one of my favorite cards since it came out. Yeah, I got it right away and just been jamming it in just random decks, even the decks that not necessarily she fits in. I just think she's a really good card. She fits really good with my number 1 all-time card too. And then Gladiator, just as another honorable mention. Just he's the Chad. He's so much fun. And yeah, 3/8 now. Let's go.
Yeah.
Wheels up.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So number ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. You want me to go? Who's gonna go?
You go.
Yeah,
I'll go.
All right, I'll go. This is just for right now, not all time. Right now, my number 1, favorite card to play that I'm having a lot of fun with is Ravonna. I love Ravonna. After her buff, so good. She's such a good card.
Series 4 card.
Yeah, serious. Yeah, I immediately got her with 3,000 tokens when she came out. Had fun for a week until Mobius came out the next week, and then all the fun was mitigated. But Ravonna is just like just a card that discounts so many cards. Like now, new Professor X, Iron Man, the Goblins. Yeah, Havoc. I mean, old Black Widow too. After the nerf, it's a little bit worse. But playing a 1-cost Black Widow was a ton of fun. Just messing with opponents. Ravonna, just like I don't know if we necessarily call her underrated now because she's starting to pick up a lot of steam and people are playing her a lot more now. But just like a really good card. And anytime there's cost reduction, I'm in. I love that. I love the high rolls. She's a great card and I love her.
Great pick. I'm a huge Ravonna fan.
Yeah, Hobgoblin on 4 is one of my favorite things to do. And when I'm playing decks like that, it's hilarious.
I was playing Ravonna when she was a 3/3, and everyone was like, "You're crazy." I was like, let me play her for my week before Mobius comes out, and she's just always been good.
That's what we did. We played her for a week. Like, have fun on this week because like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. All right, go ahead, Glazer.
My number 1, the only thing I like more than bounce is being right. It's Legion.
Yeah. Yes.
I was the high man on Legion. I love Legion. It is the freaking coolest card. It does something nothing else in the game does. Its power is subtle. I hear people play Legion all the time and they're like, this card doesn't win me anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I don't know what you talking about. Like, just the sheer power of like my single favorite is you drop him on Nidavellir. right? And then like they're like, I have a bunch of five. I guess it'd have to be a 5/5s now, right? Like X5s. And then you're like, I shang off your location. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Like it's so fun. I actually won a Conquest match today with the Revis deck by legioning off the close off all the locations on turn 5.
Oh yes, the vault or whatever.
The vault, yeah, the vault.
Yeah.
So once in a while you get real lucky and get the kiln.
Yes, yeah.
And you're just like, all right. So I just played a 5/7, which means I won that kiln, and then I just had a bunch of. It's just Legion is so fun. He's so fun. He's so broken, and if you're not playing around him, he steals cubes. Like he's just. I love 5-cost cards. 5-cost is probably my favorite cost slot. It's worse. It's the worst cost slot in the game, but like I love 5-cost cards, and Legion is beautiful as a 5-cost card. And he can never be anything else, right? Because as a 6, he's useless, and as a 4, the kiln is broken. Yeah. So he will always cost 5.
Yeah, he's this card who turned into, like everyone thought he was going to be bad except for you. And then, then when he came out, everyone's like, oh, the Storm combo is broken. Suddenly you saw a lot of that. And then now it's just like a card that's just like one of the best cards in the game, probably, that like steals cubes. And I rarely see the Storm thing, even the flooding scam that much. Rare, I don't even see that. It's just, you don't even need that with him because he's so good. He's a card I used in my that Ravonna Galactus deck I used to get Infinite on. He was in that deck, and he stole so many cubes. He steals so many cubes, and especially in metas where like you have like She-Not, Infinite, people playing a lot of Magic, he just turns off that location. They don't know because no one. He's a card that I think is severely underplayed, in recent months, and I think he should be played a lot more. He's just so good.
He's back.
Yeah, he's a ton of fun, and even making like everything the negative zone. There's that. There's the bar with no name scams. Like it's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. I lost 8 cubes recently, like a couple days ago. To it was a just 5 head. I was like just wrecking this guy, and he played it on Rickety Bridge, and like the way he played his cards, like he just knew he was gonna have one, and he just like one card left at the end. Everything else died, like. So it's just more than one. Just killed off all my cards. I'm setting up this crazy board. It's like, doof, doof, doof. Yeah, he's got like some stupid 1/2 in the corner, like just laughing. Like, touche, buddy. Like that's sick. Even the Legion died. Like he was just in Rickety Bridge. So yeah, there's a ton of ways to steal cubes. Like even just like Raptors. Like Raptors is unreal to like Squirrel, like Central Park. Yeah, I mean the Legion is so sick for sure. That's a cool pick.
More honorable mentions, Snowguard.
Oh yeah.
Snowguard, yeah.
1/2 Snowguard is one of the best cards that's ever been in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They need to make the bear 2 again.
Yep. So the problem is then you play Snowguard on 1 and you curve out.
Yeah, I guess.
It's probably too good, right? You play it and then you go 1, 2, 3. Like,
can they make the Hawk a 2/1? Is the Hawk 2 broken as a 2?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
The Hawk as a 2 is
so
like
good.
the Hawk as a 2 is one of the best. Yeah.
I'm okay with buffing the bear, but yeah,
that was one. Yeah, that was one. Snowguard was my most played card that one month where it was. How they do the monthly recaps.
Yeah.
The month where it was broken, I put in every deck, every single deck. I put Snowguard.
It was chilling so with Loki. Fun. That was the Loki month.
Yeah. You didn't even need it in Loki though, because it was just so good as a 1-drop with the 2s.
Yeah,
it was wild.
But you ran it because it's 2 extra cards.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So number one all time. It's my. Not my most decked card, I think I'm the same as everybody else where I have Chavez as my, like card I have the most boosters for basically. But my most played card that I, actually put on the board and play is Storm as my number 1.
I was waiting for him to say Jeff. That's not.
Oh, no. Well, Jeff is a good pairing with Storm for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not like, I'm going crazy on Jeff. I didn't get him till later. Like I didn't get him right away. But yeah, Storm, I love Storm, kind of like what you're saying, Glazer, with not doing anything in the game. Like old Spider-Man and Professor X are very like rigid in that they're usually coming out turn 5. The lane locks down. You kind of know exactly what's going to happen next. There's no ambiguity to it. I like that Storm just lets you play down your Storm on 3, and now all of a sudden they have to play your game. And you just totally change whatever game plan they had. You now have to address this flooding location. Like it's coming, and your deck is built to address it. Sometimes I just Storm on 3, and I just don't play in the Storm location. I'll just leave it alone. And then, maybe a Miss Marvel comes in. Maybe a Jeff comes in, right? sometimes, based on whatever deck they're playing, like, oh, they could Darkhawk. So can I beat the Darkhawk? Like, are there ways to kind of deal with their Darkhawk? Maybe we'll just look for Sentry Void, Snap if I have Sentry Void in my hand, and Storm. Storm right, Sentry Void, can't do anything about the Void coming over. Like, it leaves the Storm alone. So I love locking a lane down on 3 because I think it makes the game really interesting. I think when you do it on 5, it's like a lot more boring and just kind of linear, and you either win or you lose. Like, you either can deal with the Press or X, Blob or Goliath, whatever, or you can't, Whereas Storm, it's a very fluid game state, and I think she goes in a lot of decks, like player and Surfer, like all kinds of different decks. So I love Storm, and I think she's an awesome card that just has never been nerfed or buffed, and I think she's just always been good.
Did you ever see the Lauren Whatevs deck?
Which one's that? No, I don't think so. But so I'm interested if it's got Storm in it.
It's built entirely around Storm. So it's a big tempo deck. It just wants priority. So it wants a Storm left or right. Make sure it keeps priority. Don't play in the Storm lane on turn 4. Make sure you keep priority with like a Ms. Marvel or a Mr. Fantastic or whatever, right? Then on turn 5, you play Storm. As long as you have priority, their turn 4 play that was supposed to win that Storm lane is getting pulled out of that Storm lane.
Oh,
the arrow. Yeah.
Yeah, because arrow. And now you
Yeah.
Wait, that's so you're playing Storm on 4, arrow on 5?
No. Oh. Arrow only takes revealed cards. So if you have priority, arrow is pulling their turn 4 play, not their turn 5 play.
Oh, nice. Oh,
so whatever they played into that stormed location is getting pulled.
That's genius. I literally never thought of that. It never occurred to me to do that. Yeah.
And she just put a ton of screenshots.
Yeah, she just hit top 1,000 with it. She was ranked 90,000 last year, and she was like, "All right, I love this deck. I'm going to see if I can hit top 1,000 with it," and she did. She climbed 90,000+ ranks with it.
Yeah, and she put a ton of screenshots in a recent Twitter thread, right, saying, "Here's how good Arrow is." It's all the Arrow plays of her owning with Arrow, taking the priority. It was awesome.
How do you spell her name? I got to look this up.
Lauren Whatevs.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's just one word, Lauren Whatevs. She is brilliant. One of my favorite people in this game.
Oh, yeah. And amazing stats, too. The stats are insane.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's great. Well, hey.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Even though we had an ambiguous premise going into the list, I thought everyone's had a good list. I thought it was pretty fun.
Good times. You know what my least favorite card is?
Which one?
Leech.
I was going to say, is it Leech?
Mine's Kang.
I can see that. So when Leech is good, it's a sign that they've done something wrong in the card design.
Yeah.
Right? Like what makes Leech... Well, no, like what Blob or last time Leech was good, it was like when you could cheat it out with Thanos, right?
Yeah.
And like that's not healthy for the game. And the time before that it was good was like Leader, and that's not good for the game. Like when Leech is good, it means that they broke something.
Yeah, and it's funny that Leech has just made a resurgence in the last couple of weeks because, all these broken Blob stuff, and you're like, nope.
Yeah, no, they broke something, right? Like Leech means it's either for or against, but it means they broke something. Like Leech was also really good when Surfer was the best deck. When Surfer was a 20 whatever power play on the last turn.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So I love
it.
You broke something. Shit, better put Leech in the deck.
Yeah,
exactly. That's a great answer to broken stuff on turn 6.
Or stop me though. They cannot break the game.
Yeah, there's that as well. The problem is Leech doesn't hit Loki.
It's hilariously ineffective to Loki. Yes,
we need on-reveal Leech back.
Bring back the old Leech, best card in the game.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, I think we're almost at 2 hours here. I think that's more than enough. Thank you so much. Glazer, we appreciate it, man. And we're going to see you in a couple weeks, I think, on your pod, right?
You're coming on Snap Judgements.
That's going to be awesome.
That will be the patch episode, too, where hopefully we get a Loki nerf.
Oh, man, that's going to be wild.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think Hercules gets released that week, too. According to the data mines. He looked pretty cool.
Hercules. So everyone thinks Hercules is bad. Sorry, I know you want to end this episode, but
no, I don't care. I just feel bad, man. I have all the time in the
I don't
world.
give a shit. I'm gonna eat after this, but yeah. So you punch Vulture into Hercules, and you have a 3/13.
Yeah. Human Torch too with Kyra.
Yeah, Just like, all right.
Yeah, my first impression too was like, Vulture. Yeah, Vulture. Pretty good.
just sit there and like, yeah, this is going to be really big and really stupid. You play a cloak on there and you can move everything to that lane, and then it all just goes, it popcorns out. Let's go.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. It'll definitely be a fun card.
Well, it's kind of cool that it's. I think that's what move needs is just ways to move right, and Hercules is one of those. Right, you play it in the center or middle, and maybe it'll actually move right. You know, or I think you're playing it left. Sorry, you're playing the left every time, basically Hercules. So then you can move right, and then you can Heimdall. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, you Heimdall into him, and then he popcorns everything out all over the place.
Oh yeah, that's sick too, right? For move, like they need that. It's not so telegraphed, right?
You drop a werewolf on there, and I guess the werewolf doesn't care if it gets extra moves.
Yeah.
Well, I actually extra +2, I think, right?
No, I only gets the +2 the one time. Oh, so it's not gonna
extra +2 on Craven.
Yeah, there you go. That's.
Yeah, Heimdall Hercules is gonna have some wild highlights, I think, actually, because you're gonna have stuff popcorn in the other lanes, and like you're not even gonna know what the hell's gonna happen. Really, that's gonna be hilarious. And especially if you have a Craven somewhere else, that's gonna be wild. I can't wait to see that. Actually,
I wonder if they'll delete Professor X from the game before that. We'll see.
I mean, they tried. They tried already. Made it a 5-1, and we're like, no one will play this anymore. And we're like, fuck.
Wait, Ravona exists. Wait, Mr. Negative exists. Which Mr. Negative is always a high roll deck. No, it's always a high roll deck, but it's fun to have a 1/5 lock down the lane in that deck now.
Unreal.
I really liked the old 2/6 negative Galactus. That was one of my favorites.
That was a fun deck. Galactus. That was a fun deck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Leech is one of my least favorite cards, but he's fun to play now. I mean, but getting Leech sucks.
Getting Leech sucks.
But yeah, let's end with one question I'll ask. Actually, what was like just off the top of your head, if you could think of it, one of the best and/or worst metas this year in all of the year.
I mean,
what do you think was the best and the worst?
Okay, the best meta was this Silky Smooth meta.
That's what I think too.
I agree. Like everything was viable, everything was great. It started to fall apart because right around then the Brood Me came in, and the Brood Me deck was the fucking lamest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But it's probably that. And the meta I liked least is weird, because the meta I actually hated was the second month of Zabu. Like, I was okay with Zabu for his first month, but when Zabu took half of the next month for them to nerf, I came closer to quitting the game than ever. At first, it was like, all right, I get it. And then it was like, oh, every single game is Zabu on 3, snap. Not Zabu on 3, they snap, run. That was the entire game. There was nothing else to do. Because Zabu was so strong.
Yeah. So for me, definitely, for sure, the Silky Smooth meta was my favorite. Everything was so diverse. You could play anything. It was such a fun time to play the game. And nothing was so over the top broken that it's like, here's the best deck by far. You have to play this. There's a lot of good decks. For me, the Zabu wasn't that bad because I just started playing the game at the end of January. So I was still on that, Series 3 grind. So I didn't have enough, cards or anything to notice. Or I wasn't, good enough.
Yeah, Jessica Jones. Yeah, we're just playing Jessica Jones back then. It's like, all right, that's pretty cool. As a 2-cost Jessica Jones, we could actually win games as a Series 3 players.
So you weren't dealing with Zabu into and not even the Spider-Man thing. Yeah, sure. That's the easy one. No, it was Zabu into Wong and Shuri into Rock Slide and Darkhawk.
I didn't see that at all. Thank God.
I didn't have those cards.
And then you would just watch the fucking bajillion power Rock Slide, the bajillion power Darkhawk, and be like, well, fuck you.
Yeah. I think during those times I was like, oh, I think I'll get Wong this week, maybe. Maybe he'll come up on my collection tract.
Bonkers. It was right as I was Series 3 complete. I got Darkhawk. I hit Infinite with Darkhawk. And I was like, oh, this is stupid. And it was just so stupid. It was just so stupid.
I think my least favorite one was the Shuri meta. Because that's when I rated around when I started having everything, collected everything. And then I was like, oh, I mean, granted, it was the first time I hit Infinite. I was a filthy Shuri player because I got really lucky and pulled in the collection tract at the time. You can get pull Series 4 and 5 cards. I pulled Shuri. when No Big Deal pulled Orca at the time. That was hilarious. I
I
remember those
thought
screenshots.
Valka's my next one. Was, yeah.
But yeah, so I had Shuri, and actually it was my first time hitting Infinite. I was a filthy Shuri player, but it was too much. Everyone was playing Shuri, and it was just like, there's nothing you could do to stop it when your card doubles anywhere. I ran
Valkyrie.
Yeah, with the Cosmo.
Then you lose that lane. I win another lane. I play Valkyrie. I had Spider-Man and Professor X for one lane. I had Valkyrie for another.
Oh, that's great.
It was not a problem. What did I hit Infinite with that season? Give me 1 second. What was the season pass card that month?
That month was...
So that would have been...
Maybe it was Nimrod.
No. Nimrod. It was Nimrod and Hitmonkey season.
Yeah.
So Nimrod season, I hit Infinite with Sarah fucking Surfer.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Because I just ran Goose, right? And I was like, all right, good luck. I won lane with Storm, and then I ran Goose. And then the next season, I used the Rock Slide thing because it was gone. So that the season that it was actually bad, I used Sarah Surfer.
Yeah.
That was like the last season it was hard to hit Infinite for me.
Yeah, I did the Shuri season, and then the next season I didn't, and then I have every other season since. Mm-hmm. And then they made it easier too, right? Like it's less of a grind. Which I kind of like.
Now I do it easily. It's not like a thing. But back then...
Yeah, it used to be hard. It used to be kind of hard. Like, my first time I hit was like Doom Wave, back in the day. But I was like towards the end of Series 3. But
props to W.
Yeah.
Yeah, that deck was sick. It was tough. Like, you'd get up to the top and it'd be like, all right, you'd Galactus, and then you'd play like Thanos, and then it'd just be like just obnoxious decks like that. And like, I don't have any of these cards. Like, what's going on? Like, you lose to Arrow. But yeah, for me, my answer is like similar to your guys. I think the worst for me was the end of the Shuri meta. I legit was like, I might just quit this game. Like, this game's stupid. They're not balancing it. I don't know what we're gonna do. They just don't want to balance their game. There was all this stuff like, oh, is Shuri pay to win? Like, no. Like, it wasn't even that. It was like you're saying GLAZER, where there's just nothing you could do. You got Armor Cosmos, and now the game's over. And then you queue up another game, and it'd be like Galactus, Spider-Man, and then the game's over. And it's like, all right, well, it feels bad. I hated that season. The end of like third month of Loki was kind of sucked too, but it was not as bad as Shuri. And then my favorite was Silky Smooth as well. And to the kid's point, Zabu was my first season pass card that I actually bought. So, I mean, just as an early player, it just activates all these like White Queen, Jessica Jones, like all my decks was like, I got Agatha early. I was playing Agatha, White Queen, Jessica Jones, Zabu, and have an absolute blast, by the way. So, that was fun times. I have good memories of Zabu, but he's probably the best card of all time, right? Is that like, pre-patch Zabu?
One of them.
So
leader,
second best card of all time.
What do you think's number one?
OG Loki.
OG Loki? Yeah.
Yeah, OG Loki's ridiculous.
I'll give you that.
Like 3/5 Loki, I think. Yeah, So or at least the 3/5 Loki deck would beat the shit out of the Zabu deck.
True.
Oh, yeah.
They play Zabu. Well, like, let's say, so this is the podcast we just recorded with Lambie yesterday. We had Lambie, Peaceful, and Yeti.
Oh, that's great.
So we did we ranked all the best decks. And pre-nerf Loki beat out Zabu because like Lambie's logic was, okay, so they snap and play Zabu on 3. I snap back and play Loki. On turn 4, I play their Zabu, and then all their 4 cards cost 1.
Yeah, 1.
And I was just like, okay, you win. Fine. Loki's the best card ever, the best deck ever. Mm-hmm. Like, Loki at 3 is stupid. Loki at 4 is not nearly as good. Mm-hmm. Like, for that particular matchup. But Loki on 3 is just like, God, stupid.
Yeah. Unless they had the nut Spider-Man absorbing man to lock you out, but that'd be the only saving grace for that
it doesn't matter because, like,
I guess,
that they would have to do that on turn 5, and turn 5 is when everything costs 1.
If anything,
so you're just as likely to have it.
Yeah,
that's true.
You would get Spider-Man absorbing like a turn earlier.
Yeah, 3/5 Loki is insane. It's surprising none of us said Loki was the worst. Maybe that's why they never nerf it.
Because the Loki meta was bad, but it's not like that bad, right?
Yeah.
I think the game is also larger now, so it's large enough that there's still other strategies. And there's not, like, bluntly, there were 3 tournaments a month back then, and now there's barely one, if that. So, like, it doesn't feel as bad, right? Like, Back then there was the Snap Fan Open every month, and then there were the 2 Snap Battle Arena tournaments on top of whatever else was happening. And if there's that many tournaments, then Loki would have feel a lot worse. But like, he's not dominating tournaments, so he doesn't feel as oppressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like Hela and Cerebro, so I never had too much of an issue. But, yeah, I just play the stupid combo deck, and I like that. So, but again, like I said, against Shuri, I couldn't do anything, So, yeah.
I love it. All right. Anything you guys got to say to the people before we close this out?
Go ahead, Glaze.
Yeah, check me out. Snap Judgements Pod, YouTube. Do the thing. Hit the sub. You won't regret it.
Oh yeah, no, seriously, one of the best, Snap content, if not the best Snap content on YouTube. Just for sheer amounts of information and just you go over everything, man. It's crazy. I don't know how you do it. It's great.
I like your card previews. When a new card, like your Selene one recently was awesome. It gives you like, hey, here's like 14 deck ideas. Like it gets you in the mood to like build decks and try stuff out. It's really fun.
That's what I wanted when like I was like just watching stuff. They'd be like, here's a deck with the new card. I'd be like, what the fuck? I don't want one deck. I want like 10 decks. I want to try this shit out. So like, try this shit out if you want to try that. And if you're going to buy it, here's how you try it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. Well, thanks, man. Again, thank you so much again for coming. We appreciate it. Hopefully I'll get to the next day or two. We'll see. But I'm working in a couple hours overnight. So
let me know. I'll tweet it and do the stuff.
All right, sweet. I'll let you know, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. No big deal. You got anything to say to the people?
Hey man, and Happy New Year. Have a good, good holiday season.
Oh, yeah, sure.
We got a new year show match coming up. No big deal versus Ninja. He already tried to delay it once by pushing it off to the new year. So hopefully he doesn't try to delay it again. I don't know if he's waiting for the next patch or what he's doing, but we'll rock and roll and see if the Filthy Casual can get a dub in this one.
For people who don't know, we have a long-time fan of the show, Ninja, and he loved Martyr, and we talked a bunch of crap about Martyr, and he wasn't happy about it, and so basically he challenged No Big Deal to No Big Deal called him out last podcast, and he challenged him to a show match, so that'll be happening next year sometime.
Run it.
That's it. All right. Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks again. Peace.
Happy New Year.